pray this morning?
Well, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Y'all know what this is. This is Black Friday. This is Black Friday. This is the day where you call in. If you got anything going on in regards to business, you call in. You have an event going on, whatever you got going on, give us a call, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. You got anything going on business related and you want to have a spot where you could talk about it, let everybody know what's going on, and it's going to cost you a purple penny. A purple penny. It's gonna cost you a purple. Now, if you can find a purple penny, you bring it and you give it to them. But if you can't find a purple penny, it's gonna cost you 0.5. Is what it's gonna cost you. How much it's gonna cost, Bishop?
0.5.
0.5. That's what it's gonna cost you this morning. So y'all make sure y'all give us a call again. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Looking for you. Now, I got a fella sitting beside me right here. I don't know who he is. He just walked up, man, and knocked on the window. And I said, man, my little brother in there. I said, man, who that now? He said, I don't know, man. Some man with a black and red hat on. I said, what, a black and red hat on? He said, yeah. I said, what's he wearing? He said, he wearing an old fancy shirt. I said, what? I said, oh, ask him who is he. Open the door. And my little brother, he said, hey, what's your name? He said, I said, and it kind of scared my little brother, he's 17, he's 17 years old, kind of scared him a little bit. He closed the door and came back to me. I said, what did he say? He said somebody did it. I said, what? I said, let him in. Let him in, and here he goes, sit beside me there. I said, yeah, man, what can I help you with? He did. I said, what? I said, what? Watch it. Hey, yo, man, what's your name? See, there you go. See,
that's what people say.
Bishop, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm great, man. Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, man. We got to kick off this Black Friday. Black Fridays is when we talk about business, man. That's why I want to have you in here, man, because if you don't know nothing else, you know business.
Oh yeah,
you've been in business for a long time, and so what I want to bring the heavy hitters. When we're talking about business, I want to bring the heavy hitters. People that can tell them about business. Now, Bishop, let me ask you this question. What is, and the phone lines again are open, 678-381-1973. What is the one biggest mistake that most individuals make when they go in business for the first time?
Not planning properly.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people think, oh, I can start this business, but there's a whole lot more to starting a business. You have to put a proposal together, a plan, and then you got to adhere to the plan to get yourself started. I have friends that always say, man, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I say, well, you have a dream, but you're deferring on the dream. So therefore you're denying yourself the opportunity to have the business that you desire to have. But you put a business plan together, look at it, get some advice, and then move towards your vision of trying to start that business.
Okay, now you say look for advice. Can you ask everybody for advice?
No, you can't ask everybody for advice. But you talk to someone that has some knowledge or that is running their business. What did it take and how was it? Because your first year in business, you're just now recouping some of the money that you've invested in what you're getting ready to do.
Okay.
Second year, you're going to have to work harder than you did the first year to maintain that business and sell your product.
Now, hold on now. Ray told me he know about business. Ray told me, Ray and Felicia down the street say they know about business. And so when I want to start my business, just come on down there and take the Ray 101 business course. And I have everything I need to start my business. Now, I believe in Ray because Ray done destroyed 9 businesses.
And that Donald Trump?
That's his cousin. That's his cousin.
Man, destroyed 9 businesses. Goodness gracious, man. File bankrupt. That's not a good way to do business. Start a business, file bankrupt. Start another business, file bankrupt again.
But he still got his house, his car, and everything.
Yeah.
So what's wrong? What are you saying about Ray?
Ray, he's not a businessman.
He only charge $125 for the class.
Yeah, when he's smart.
Yeah, he charged $125.
Yeah, $125 per class.
Yeah,
per class. He is smart.
He makes
per class.
Yeah, he's a good businessman.
If you get 10 people,
yeah,
you come and pay $125 per class.
Yeah,
there's gonna be 10 classes.
Yeah,
that means 10 people. You gonna get $125 per person.
Yeah,
that's good business.
See, now see, that's why I tell you about Ray Ray. Ray, boy, you all right. Ray, boy, you. Yeah. So why in the world can I follow Ray Ray's plan?
Yeah, but Ray doesn't have a business. Ray has a scam.
What do you mean?
That's a scam.
How's it a scam? He's teaching people.
What are you teaching them? How to take your money? That's what he's teaching them. Take my money. Take my money. I'm gonna give it to you, Ray.
Yeah.
Then what I'm gonna do? I have to leave out there.
Ray give you a certificate and everything.
Yeah, I can print one of them off.
Huh?
I can print a receipt off.
Oh, okay. Hold on. We got the phone line ringing. Good morning, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Brian, what's up, man? It's Kurt.
Charm City. Charm City, Baltimore, Maryland. Hey, look at here, man. We're talking, this is Black Friday. We're talking about business, Curtis. And Bishop is in the studio with us this morning. Say hello to Bishop.
Bishop, what's going on, man?
It's you, my brother. I thought you were going to say, hey, this is Ray.
See, no, but
no, today is Pookie.
Oh, it's Pookie
today.
Well, see, we're talking about Ray. Ray got to see. We're talking about business, and Bishop was telling us about what's the main thing that you need to do in starting a business. And one mistake that most people make when they start a business. And so I asked him. I said, "Look here, Ray told me to come down there because Ray got a course. He only charged $125 for the course. Ray only destroyed 9 businesses. He only destroyed 9 businesses, but he's gonna teach you for $125 how to run your business effectively." Now, Bishop said, now if he getting $125 from everybody, that's a good business. But he said Ray is not a good business practitioner. What do you say to that, Curtis?
Right. Well, I mean, I heard people say before, failure makes success, but 9 times at it and you still failing. I don't know how successful that is, but I don't know if I spend my $125.
But see, a lot of people.
You figure if he get, huh?
No. Well, a lot of people paying that money for Ray to do his course, man. A lot of people taking that course. Ray coming off, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, you figure if you just take the $25 off, he get 20 people. That's $2,000.
Yeah.
He run that for a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's $12,000 just for a weekend. Two presentations a day. That's $12,000 just for a weekend of work.
Yeah, that's good.
What bothers me with that whole thing, man, is our watchdogs have gotten so slack, man. Everybody's so busy on the tape that there's people that's doing that and they not even being confronted for the fraudulent activity that they putting out. Like I watch, I don't know if you ever watched this show, but have you ever watched the show American Greed?
I never watched it, but I heard of it.
Man, listen here, man. I mean, they basically what they do is they open up the FBI file of all those guys that prosecuted and and sent to prison for embezzling, fraud, waste and abuse. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And man, when you hear what some of these cats done, man, bro, like this, man, and it's because your watchdog structure has been removed.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if there's how can I put this? Lord have mercy.
Why you think about this? Let me ask you this question right here. What is the difference in what Ray is doing? What is the difference in what Ray is doing and what a lot of the pyramid schemes do when they have them multi-level marketing? They try to get you to go out there and buy this, pay this much for the being the business, and then you pay this much for the product, then you bring these people in, and what's the difference though?
You know what? It's really not a difference. It's not a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a difference, man. Listen. At the end of the day, I'm sorry, man. If you telling me that you're gonna get me in the first off, if you're like you got these schemes, we're gonna help you find employment, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna give you employment. How many people offered a job made you pay to have the job?
Exactly. Come on now.
That's number one. Number two, if you in any business, and I'm sorry, man, I guess some of them work, I don't know. I haven't seen or heard a real life success story from not a damn one of them.
Mm-hmm. Not a damn one of them. That see, you know, that we hitting hard. Not a damn one of them. God almighty. Go ahead, brother.
When you hear these stories, for example, of you know, you pay such and such, and you know, and you bring somebody in and da. Already right there for me, that's a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
That's a red flag, man. I shouldn't have to bring nobody in, and they done started dressing it up the way they say, you can get your money back, or you know, you can make a nice little income, you know, if you just sign up, you know. But you can really make some income. You can get your money back if you sign up.
Yeah.
But you can really make some income if you bring somebody on to be a salesman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Listen to the schemes. Some of them sound real good.
Oh, they got it down to a science now.
You get to the part where, until you get to the part where, oh well, you're just a regular member. You're not a platinum member, so you're not a sales member. Also, in order for me to make some real money, I gotta sell this fracking to other people.
Yeah.
But yet you ain't showed me a return yet. So I stay away from them, man, because they just.
So you just they just collect the money.
Game, man.
They just collecting, and you ain't getting nothing. Bishop, what do you say about that? Now, what's the difference in Ray Ray? What's the difference in Ray Ray? His business, he teaching you something. He $125 is what he charged you. That's all he charged you, $125. And you're going to walk away with this certificate. What's the difference in that and these multi-level marketing schemes? And I don't want to call it schemes because some people take it real personal. Some people really love what they do. And some people, I guess, do make money with it. But what is the difference?
Well, that's a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
Ray, his work experience has not proven that he's a good businessman.
Okay.
With 9 failed business, but he does have a scheme.
Yeah, he got a scheme.
And that's what a lot of them do. They got this scheme to try to reel you in to make you think you're going to be making XYZ dollars. You got to pay for his class.
Yep.
But then where's his level of experience? What does he have to show for his so-called ability to run and maintain the business?
Yeah.
You're not an expert because you haven't demonstrated being an expert by having a successful business.
Yep.
But you do know how to scheme and get over. And that's why his business didn't last because he kept trying to get over. Kept trying to run a rackets game, so to speak.
Yep.
Like Kurt was saying, and Kurt was, he was giving some good information, and that's what we're here to do. Give you the information about starting a business, running that business, and being able to maintain that business.
Yes.
These are some of the things to be successful in what you're trying to do. You got to be willing to change with the changes or meet the demands of the people.
Okay.
So in Ray Ray's scheme, he's meeting the demands of the people. They need to know how to start a business.
Yeah.
But yet,
from start to finish.
Well, he can tell you that, but ask about his success.
Well, he know how to start. He done started 9 businesses.
He done started them.
He done ran them.
Yeah.
But he just don't know how to finish it.
Yeah. That's a big problem, though. You know what? I'm gonna equate that to something. I know how you get when I start talking about the woman.
Oh Lord, ladies, send an email to him. Send the email to him right there. Send him right there. Go ahead.
He introduces himself to the lady.
Yeah.
Now he has to sell himself to the lady
Mm-hmm.
by doing nice things, by showing the attention that he needs to maintain the relationship with her.
Yeah.
He seals the deal when she accepts him as her beau.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he did what he needed to get to that level to reach. Because I do trust and hope that when it comes down to a standard, a lot of women have a high standard when they look for a man and look for a relationship. Well, that's the same thing with a business. If I can't win her and I don't have the thing that I need to take her and bring her in, how are you going to be successful in anything else? You fail at this relationship, you're going to fail in your business because you don't dedicate yourself to trying to make it work.
Now you said on the radio the other day, I think it was yesterday, you said that they're going to go, they're successful in getting their beau, but they end up with the last part of his name.
So what?
They successful. Oh. Yeah, okay. Now, okay.
Kirk, is Kirk on the show yesterday?
Kirk, yeah, Kirk, he get off, he had to get off. Yeah, he get
man, Kirk, you missed the show yesterday, brother. Man, you should have wrote it out to the end. You should have wrote it out to the end, brother.
Man, look at him.
Yeah, I have to go into the warehouse and make sure that my truck loaded right before I pull out. So I have to get off at like 8.
Exactly.
But man,
tell me about.
I could have heard the story.
But tell me about this situation now. Ray, he got a good thing going on, and see you his cousin Pookie. You should know. You know how this thing run, man. Educate these people on what y'all doing over there, Pookie.
Man, you better go ahead with that, man. Don't say nothing like that over this radio. How these fans trying to be Pookie ain't got nothing to do with what Ray doing, what Ray said, or what Ray is partaking in. Leave me alone. Let Pookie stay Pookie. Man, I'm gonna tell you, man. If you ever want any, that's for the listeners, for those on the show that ain't seen it yet. Man, if you ever want any kind of education about fraud, waste, fraud, and abuse, man, I'm telling you, all you got to do is watch American Greed, man. Like, this thing will blow your mind as to the lengths that people will go, like, with the Ponzi schemes and all of that, man, the lengths that people will go to or go through just to be able to say or live a lifestyle of wealth. And some of these people, bro, I kid you not, man, they done swindle folks out of so much money, or they done fraudulently took so much money. I don't mean they live in like, $400,000 a year, $500,000 a year. Man, some of these people are living lifestyles that say they bringing in almost $50 million a year. Like man, I'm telling y'all, man, you ever get the chance, just watch one episode of it. It will blow your mind. And a lot of times they'll tell you about schemes that, like, for real, a guy started a scheme. He went to jail for it, but if you pay real close attention, that scheme, it didn't stop with him.
Yeah.
Somebody just took his scheme.
Blueprint. They use the same blueprint.
Use the same blueprint. Everybody took his scheme, kind of reworded some things, so that they could get by with the law. And then the law come right back. That's just like such and such. So man, I understand.
My question is this, though, Curtis. My question is this: if they took his blueprint and they just changed a couple of words, and if he's incarcerated for it's the same blueprint, why aren't they?
Because if you change, you can change verbiage on something, and if you know the law, you can skirt past the law, and you can even beat a case with the law if if you establish your scheme based upon the law. Because the law is so gray. You know, the law, which is supposed to be our moral compass, right? Our ethical compass, is the one situation that in all reality is not finite. Like you raise your kids, realistically, we raise our kids in a finite manner. You can do and you can't do. This right and this is wrong. The law is the one thing that's supposed to guide our moral compass, but continuously says, well, there's a gray area in tax evasion. If you have this in donations, then you can't on tax. You see what I'm saying? The law is so gray that you got guys who realistically,
Kurt, tell the truth,
pay
man.
really, really good lawyers.
Tell the truth. You got some individuals that will make it past that the law don't apply to, and others it does. And that's what it is, because the three Hebrew boys.
That's all.
The three Hebrew boys out of Columbia, South Carolina. You remember them, Kurt? They had a perfect situation going on. And a lot of people was actually benefiting from that situation, because people was financially benefiting from that situation. The feds came in and said, well, what you're doing is not right. Okay, well, what are they doing that's different from everybody else that's doing the same thing? They had a business idea. They had a business plan. They came in and they presented it to the public. The public loved the idea. The public was benefiting from their idea. And because they was benefiting so much, now their pigmentation in their skin was a little darker than most other people. And because of that reason, they got locked up. Bishop, now what do you say to that?
Man, let me tell you something. You just said something. I've been saying it all the time. How the laws can be mistaken.
Come on.
And how it's applied.
Yeah.
And as Kurt was speaking,
mute your phone, Kurt.
You got to realize that for some reason, our system that we live by, these laws, they're not applied the same way based on race.
Yeah.
It is crazy how, since we
talk, tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You know, Chinese, Taiwanese, Japanese, all these people can come here to America. Blacknese too. Can come to America. They're not natural born. And get financial assistance to start a business and not pay taxes for 7 years.
Come on.
But what they do, they in turn have another family member come in. They then turn the business over to them, and they keep flowing. And IRS or someone say the government is not looking over their shoulders.
Yeah.
But they're still looking over our shoulders, and we cannot even get the financial revenue that we may be able to start or sustain a business. Now, in certain counties, you know, they have a LSBE, you know, group that gives money to minorities.
Now what's that?
Local small business. That's what they are.
You can't say no abbreviation. I'll tell people what it is. Now you go LLMONOUSC. Go ahead, brother. and ain't gonna tell nobody what it is, man. How you gonna do the best like that, man? Leave people out on limbo like that. Now they going to Google trying to figure out, leaving here, going to Google trying to figure out what it is.
But then see what you did. Yeah, you have made them go back and look it up.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do. I can show you how to fish, but instead of me just showing, I can feed you fish, but I want to show you how to fish.
Yes, sir.
So you got to do your legwork. You got to do your homework. You got to understand what business really consists of, what business is all about. First of all, do you know what you want to do?
Yeah.
I can't look at what Mr. John got going on and it look like it worked for Mr. John, because what worked for Mr. John may not work for Mr. Me. So Mr. Me got to do my who?
Miyagi. You said Mr. Miyagi. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
This brother right here, God bless America, and Raheem too.
Raheem too. Yes, sir.
But with business, man, you really got to put a plan together. One thing I learned: if you fail the plan, then plan on failing.
Let me ask you this question while you're there, and I want to go to Curtis. Everybody say when you go into business, make sure you apply to and have a business plan.
Yeah.
Make sure you get your business plan together, because if you don't have your business plan, a lot of times what will happen is things happen along the course of the business, and you could get off course.
Yeah.
You could lose vision and you lose stuff. But if you got that business plan, you go back to that business plan, and that should get you back where you should be, because that's your navigational system.
Absolutely.
And so why is a business plan so important?
Wait on you, Kurt.
No, Kurt on mute right now. I'm going
yeah. Man, please. It is most definitely important. That's your checklist.
Yeah.
All right. I did this, check. I did that, check. This is your plan. This is your outline of what you have to do to get to where you need to be. If you want to be financially strapped and solid, you want to be successful in what you're doing, you put a plan of action together.
Okay.
Now, it's funny that you said it, because someone reached out to me and they asked me through my organization to support them, to help them get started.
Okay.
So I said, give me your business plan. And they said, well, what does that look like?
What it is?
I said, you want to start a business? You let me know what you're doing, how much revenue you need, so that we can consider.
I need all you're gonna give me. I need all you're gonna give me.
You ain't gonna get it. It don't work like that.
I need all you're gonna give me.
But here's
all you can afford to give me. That's what I need.
This person had the audacity to ask me to do a business plan for them. I said, I'm not doing your legwork for you. You got to present it to me. You go to a bank. A bank want to know how you want this much money. Show me what you got and what collateral do you have.
Well, I need you to do that for me now. I don't do all that kind of stuff. You know, the business plan. Kurt, how important is a business plan? Why is a business plan even important, Kurt?
A business plan basically tells an investor who you are, what you do, and what your numbers are going to look like. A lot of times in startups, the numbers that you got listed, honestly and truthfully, are not. See, people get scared because they think, well, I got to be making some money in order to do it. No. A business plan is nothing but a projection of where you see your company at in 3, 5, and 10 years.
Okay.
A lot of times you don't have to put the 10 in there, and you don't have to put the 5 in there in most cases. If you have those things, it just tells the lender how confident you are that your business is going to be successful. It tells the lender it's ornaments on a tree. It tells the lender, okay, well, this guy's, according to this business plan, especially if your numbers are solid, according to this business plan, this guy has the potential to make 10 million in his first 5 years. But if we get behind him, that 10 million could be 50 million easy.
Okay.
It gives them the ability to see not only your growth on paper, but your expansion into the future. So now their investment, it gives them the opportunity to, how can I put this? I don't want to say shore up their investment, because there's no guarantees in business, but it takes away some of the anxiety of, oh, well, this thing might fail.
Okay.
You got a good, solid business plan, and a lender is reading it, and they know that it's solid, and they can see cost comparisons and stuff like that. They can see your cost analysis, your things like, okay, this guy's making money, but what is his cost? What is his total cost? What's his variable cost? Meaning, what is his cost that's going to change from month to month, quarter to quarter, year to year? Okay, well, what is his fixed cost? Okay, well, can he it gives them the opportunity that here's what I try and do when I do write a business plan. I'm writing one right now. What I try and do is, one, I try and keep my variable costs always lower than my fixed costs. That's number one. That's one of the first things that any lender that's putting up the money, or any funding source that's putting up the money, you come out 10 times better when your fixed cost is more than your variable cost.
Okay.
That's number one. That's one of the first things they look at. The finance guy, okay, well, you know, if the variable cost is too high, this guy might go bankrupt because his cost, the things that he has to spend that constantly change is taken away from his profit.
Okay.
Right? Number two, what is your niche? What separates you from everybody else that's doing what you do?
I took Ray course. Man. Ray taught me this stuff.
That don't mean nothing. Even if you took Ray course, check this out. Okay, I took Ray course, right? How'd that work for you? How'd that work for you? It's got to be in there. How'd that work for you? Okay, well, if it worked for you, show us how you made money. Or show us how you was able to sustain your business without going out photo. Right?
Gotcha.
So you may say, I took Ray course, but instead of charging folks $100 a month, I made it free. And after folks made their first $2,000, I then charged them $250.
Well, how you gonna take Ray course? How you gonna take Ray course and change it and make money on somebody else's course? And Ray course, man.
Okay. They do it all the time. You remember, for example, we'll use something as simple as earbuds, right?
Yes.
When earbuds first came out, what was it? Apple was the only ones that had earbuds. Right?
Yes.
Now you can go in a local bodega and buy a pair of earbuds.
Hold on now.
Well, what's
going on with you and Bishop this morning? What's going on with you and Bishop this morning, man?
It's a local bodega.
A local what?
Bodega. A local corner store.
Well, just say corner store, man. We ain't up on all this bodegos and all the other stuff y'all talking about, man. We don't know about all that, man. We country folk, man. We country folk. Listen, we got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. I'm Ashley, and I'm calling from the Marietta area.
Hey, Ashley, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Ashley, I have a question for you. Now, this is Black Friday. We're talking everything business. So I want to know, Ashley, do you have a business or you're in business or you have a question about business? What's going on with you, Ashley?
I am all of the above. I have a special organization for fearfully and wonderfully made kids, which are special needs kids. And the group supports the kids, making sure they get the resources that they can get, and also being there to support the mother. And I came up with the name because they're all unique in their own way.
Yes.
And it pretty much brings awareness to the community. And I'm in the process of starting up a medical in-home care business.
Okay, now
and I'm turning.
No. Go ahead, sister. Tell us everything you got going on. We want to hear about it all. Go ahead.
Let's do it. Tell about your business plan. Did you put your business plan together?
Ashley, we got Bishop here.
Yes, sir.
He's
yes, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, Bishop. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. And yes, sir, I did put a business plan together.
Why was it important for you to put a business plan together?
It's very important to put a business plan together because you need to know, one, you need to have a plan. You can't build a building without having a blueprint.
Come on.
Because you want to make sure you structure.
Ashley, that wisdom right there. Ashley, that wisdom right there. That wisdom, Ashley. Ashley, you speaking some wisdom. That wisdom right there, girl. You go ahead and give more of that wisdom you're talking about. Give more of that wisdom.
So I want to make sure that I have all the fundamentals that I need, not just to be successful for my business, but I'm a big advocate of the special needs community. So I want to make sure that they're getting their full potential. They're reaching their full potential. They're able to get the help and the structure that they need to be great. And the opportunity, like everybody else, you know, because in the special needs community, they're often overlooked. Nobody mentioned things like how often special needs kids, adults and kids, are missing. You never hear about those things. You never hear about resources such as medical supplies that they can get to help. And often special needs parents, like myself, get left in the dark. And I want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So pretty much bringing awareness. And then outside of their medical condition, they're often bullied, made fun of, and neglected, and have a hard time when things are a little difficult for them already. So I want to change those things so it can be easier for the mom as well as the parent. The kid.
Exactly. Now, I can hear your heart, Ashley, in what you're doing. How's everything going? And not only how's everything going, but how can we assist you in what you're in getting to your destination?
I would say, because my parents don't want to be, automatically addressed like, hey, I know your son got a job, but I do want people to interact more and get more involved. The group that I have is called Fearfully and Wonderfully Made. And I want people to get referred to the program so that they can get the help, resources, and support. And it's a free group. I have catering service, support teams that, help. We partner with different Autism Walk. In my community, in the Marietta community, we have Walgreens, LA Fitness, American Red Cross, Marietta Police Department. But it doesn't just have to be in Marietta, because the same resources that we have here are also in the surrounding counties.
I'm glad you said that, because what you're offering is, and I know you're based out of Marietta, but say I'm in Fulton County or the city of Atlanta, could I utilize your service as for whatever I'm going through?
Absolutely. I will leave you guys with my contact information so that you guys can have those parents or guardians reach out. But you absolutely can use it, because every county has the eloping program. So for people that don't know, it's when kids that have mostly ASD, autism spectrum disorder, they wander off. And when they wander off, their mindsets are different from ours, because it's unique. They don't feel pain like we feel pain, or they don't understand the way we do. So it's hard, to find them because of their difficulty in communication. So every county has the eloping program, which a lot of parents don't know. They also have the American Red Heart Box, which is a safety kit to help keep those kids safe. And different things that, I don't mind sharing with them. S2 medical supply, because sometimes, they may have accidents, or it takes a while for them to communicate and get completely fully potty trained, because they don't have control of it. So they have bed paddings and pins, which is pull-ups, to help control the stuff, control that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all their insurance coverage. So they don't have to worry about paying out-of-pocket expenses. So regardless of what county you're in, you do have to be in the Georgia area. But regardless of what county you're in, as long as you're in Georgia, you're covered.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I've heard you say quite a few businesses that you're interested in starting, and I commend you on all of them. But I need to ask you this question, Ashley. How many hours are there in your day?
How many hours am I available a day?
No. How many hours? Now, I get 24 hours in a day. Do you get the same 24 hours? Because the reason why, because you saying you're doing a whole lot, sister, now, and I'm just trying to figure out how many hours in your day.
I have the same amount of hours. I have 24 hours in a day.
Okay.
I do work hard. I work extremely hard. And that's because I take pride in what I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
I do try to create balance. Like currently, as of now till Sunday, I've worked 110 hours this week.
Good Lord.
Man, that's the whole week.
That's the whole week. That's it.
You got no downtime.
But you know what? It doesn't, honestly, like, you know how people say, I've listened to a lot of inspirational speakers and different things like that, but they say when you're passionate about something and you really love, or gifted, when God put that gift inside of you, and it's something that you really love doing, it honestly doesn't feel like a job.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good.
So I'm not, like overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so like a joy for me because I look at myself as being a servant, being able to go in and help, because it takes a lot off of them. And being a nurse, it comes easy for me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because I'm used to being busy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's good. And one thing I want to compliment you on, I definitely love your heart and the compassion that you have for people. I got another call. I'm gonna go to my caller. I want to come back and let you talk about you say you wanted to start a home for the elderly as well, right?
It's an in-home care business, but it's geared towards special needs kids and adults.
Okay. Let me go to my caller, and I'm gonna come right back to you. Hold on one second. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, Mr. Raheem.
Hey, Captain Leonard.
It's great.
Hey, this
what's going on?
Hey, doing good. Good to have you, brother. This is Black Friday. We're talking business. Did you hear some of the things that Ashley was saying, and some of the things that she's looking to do?
Yeah.
Talk to me, man. I know you have a heart as well, man. So talk to me.
I've been listening to last 10 minutes or so, but I got what she was saying about the particular type of business that she has. You asked her that question about the time. Well, time management is also a part of your business.
Yes.
There are goals for business. If your goals require you work 18 hours a day, and that's something you enjoy, more power to you. It's the type of business that you have that's going to dictate how much work it's going to require. Now, remember, I think earlier you were talking about the marketing businesses and things like that.
Yes.
That's just what those are. Marketing businesses. They teach you how to market. And it's come a long way because of what they offer now. And basically, when a lot of these businesses start, it trains you to be a businessman. Because you're going to have to, I know guys who have been very, very, very successful at that. And just so successful to the point they can afford to live a certain way. It's because they do that very well. They're marketing type people who go into marketing businesses because that's what they are talented at. Everybody do it. But, you know, a lot of times the things that we traditionally call scams are really, like, I think one of the biggest things was multi-level marketing.
Yes.
And one of the biggest issues with multi-level marketing was there were no concrete goods and services.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people would say, because of my access to people and speaking regularly, that, you know what, you should try this. I don't care to do this. This is not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just running around every day, all day,
mm-hmm.
trying to convince people to buy self-help programs. Because that's what it is, the self-help program, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They sell you the tools to help yourself become a more profitable person who markets any type of business that they could think of.
Mm-hmm.
Because the game is the same. Even if you had a business that offered products and services, you still would have to market that business.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
And see, and
So,
what I've noticed, Leonard, is a lot of time in the multi-level marketing, and I don't want to call it scheme, you know, because a lot of people take it real personal, so I don't want to insult them. But at the same time, I've noticed that a lot of them have the same blueprint. A lot of them have the absolute same blueprint. It's like, you know, they take, you know, do this right here and you get 3 people, and once you get your 3 people, then they get 3 people, and then you go out there and I'm gonna tell you, I had some friends that was in some of them things, man. And we were real close before they got into those things there, but man, they just bugged you so doggone much, man. I'm like, man,
that's the thing about it. That's why it's not so attractive to me, as it is to a lot of people.
Exactly. I'd be like, man, can we have a conversation with, man? Can we just have a conversation? We used to talk, brother. Now, man, you know, and everything gears right back to, and you know, we got a product for that. Oh Lord Jesus.
And that's because the language sales, the conversations in business should turn into profit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that is what confuses a lot of people. Either you're going to take a hobby that you have and try to make additional income from it,
and
you're going to do business that way, or what's the other goal for your business? Because your goal does not have to be profit.
Mm-hmm.
It may be just making, you know, what if you just like to break even?
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy to say.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of folks will say, you know, I just want to help people. That's not really business.
That's charity.
You can help people all day, every day.
Yeah. That's charity.
How are you providing that service to people is business. How do you plan to do that consistently? What is it going to cost you to do that? You know, what's the cost benefit analysis of doing it this way or that way? So even if, like, say, for instance, I work with nonprofits, and yes, you hear the word nonprofit because there's an alternative motive as side to a profit motive. Nonprofits can become very, very wealthy.
Yeah, they can.
It depends on how are they following the rules and using that wealth for their benefit.
Move this over here, move that over there. Yeah, move everything around. How they strategically move everything around to make it make sense for the business.
Right, and the reason for which you're running that nonprofit should consume how you use those profits. So you know, I like for people, especially African Americans, to get away from myths and get away from all the negative connotations that people who ain't never done nothing use. And that's why they're at where they're at.
Hey, Leonard, let me say something. I appreciate what you're saying. You see why I call him my E.F. Hutton?
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Let me Ashley about to take a left turn on you. Ashley, tell us about the home that you're talking about that you discussed briefly with us earlier.
So medical in-home care is not like them staying in a regular house that pretty much has assisted living. It's similar to what I do now because I'm a traveling nurse. It's when they get respite care and care inside of their home. I'm not sure about the caregiver part or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
because I never done that. Know that you know, some people can't. That's not medical can get like companionship and all those things, but mine is more so medical because I'm a nurse,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I love to do. So pretty much people that's getting respite care are, you know, DD patients and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much those have medical leave, maybe wound care, etc. So you pretty much go to their homes and make sure that they're getting the medical help that they need.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Instead of just having to live inside of the hospital, live inside of the nursing home,
Mm-hmm.
or things like that,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people prefer to be inside of their home.
Yeah.
And now that people are trying to get out of, you know, putting their family members in home or nursing home or assisted living,
Mm-hmm.
they are more so doing it inside the home because they want them to be there with them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot easier for them to be there, you know, because they are able to be involved. They don't have to worry about accidents and different things happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have a licensed medical provider there.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Now, is it something that you're already doing, or and if it is, if a person want to get in contact with you, how can they utilize your services? But before you do that, let me give the phone number 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. And I got to tell y'all something, man. I crossed my sneeze or whatever I did just now when I turned around, turned to the side, I turned away from Bishop, and I did it. And I looked at Bishop, he don't put his hand all over his mouth. He said, man, I ain't got no corona, man. I ain't got no corona, brother. You ain't got to cover yourself up, man.
Hey, brother, I ain't saying about having no corona.
I'm talking about you doing all of here.
Yeah, you sneeze over there.
But is that a service that you already providing? And if so, how can someone get in contact with you so that they can utilize this service?
I'm currently working with a company, Amazing Care, which is a great company.
Mm-hmm.
I have not started that in-home care business yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working with them. But what I have started is the Fearfully and Wonderfully Made organization,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm waiting. The paperwork is already processed, just waiting on them to send it back,
Mm-hmm.
which is the 501c. But they can reach me. They can either email me at ashleylove0908
Mm-hmm.
at gmail.com, or they can reach me at my number 404-536-3267.
Now she put the number out there. Now y'all only call that number for professional reasons.
For business. Please.
Yeah. Don't we ain't no dating service over here. We ain't no dating service, so don't call them. Don't call here for no date and all that. No, we ain't doing all that. If you call for some foolish, we're gonna block your number, and she gonna give me your number. And I'm gonna call you myself because we ain't got time to play.
Yeah.
And so, you know, she's doing something that's serious, and she's serious about what she's doing. We ain't got time for no mess. Yeah, that's my little sister right there. We're gonna make sure we take care of her.
Yeah.
And that's just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, I most definitely want people to understand this is Black Friday. We
Mhm.
talk business.
Mm-hmm.
This is DKM Media Group and Associates. So we want everyone to give us a call if you know anything about business, you're thinking about starting a business. These are the things we can try to help you with as we move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And we start back, you know, you go back to I ran a couple of businesses and was very successful in it. And what's funny is that for some reason, our cousins always want to get the hookup.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
They always want to get the
Oh,
hookup.
Lord.
And I'm like, man, you know, I'm in the business to make money. I tell anybody, I work for money, not for fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
if I come, you're gonna have to pay me for what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we always want to encourage people. Yeah, you know, we may try to lower the price that you may be able to fit in your budget.
No, we ain't. Look here. This is my point. You go to Walmart and you see something on that shelf, you're gonna pay what the price tag says.
You're gonna pay the price.
You're gonna pay that price tag. Now you go to the car, you go to you got a car, you go to the dealership, you get your car fixed.
Yeah.
They're gonna bring you an invoice, they're gonna say this is how much it costs right here. Now you ain't gonna sit there no 20-30 minutes trying to negotiate with them people. I don't want to pay this. No, they fix your car. Now you gotta pay these people.
Man,
so we ain't gonna do that. No, we ain't gonna get into that practice because, like I said, we had to pay for our product that we provide or our service that we provide, we have to do that too.
Yeah.
And so my thing is, don't come here if you can't afford it, leave it alone.
You know why a lot of stores mark their prices up on their products? Because people come in and steal. That's why they mark the price up.
Yeah.
That way they can always recoup what people going to be in the store stealing. And that's their practice. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not stealing nobody's stuff.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't have to pay or be penalized for the ignorance that somebody else is doing. But generally, that's what they do. These are the things that they do actually teach you in these classes. If you're trying to take them and learn how to start a business. I worked for DeKalb County. I worked for the state of Georgia.
Yes, sir.
I did a lot of stuff dealing with business. And God, I'm gonna tell you, God, the truth. God has really been good to me and my wife and my family. We've been very successful in the things we've done. But it takes practice. You got to put a plan of action together. Then you got to, try to move it forward and connect yourself with individuals that may be able to assist you in what you want to do.
Like Ray Ray.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Ray Ray now. I keep telling you, Ray Ray had 9 businesses and none of them were successful. Now he got a scheme that teach you how to make money.
Yeah.
But he don't want making money.
That same thing Donald Trump do.
Oh, here we go.
What the difference?
Jesus.
That same thing Donald Trump do. The same thing Donald Trump do. He done filed about 15 bankruptcies and now he going out there. He started a university.
Yeah, I know he did. Yeah. Trump University in that field. Yeah. Hey, but you know what? Now you just went somewhere. Everybody's crying about the $750 that he had to pay back in taxes.
Yeah.
But did y'all know he made over $92 million in returns? So how in the world a man filed bankrupt
and made that much money
and then made $92 million in tax return? But yet he owes $750.
I know who to ask that question to.
Who, Leonard?
No, sir. No, sir. I got somebody else on the line that they can. Donald Tucson. How does that work? And good morning, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, Donald.
Good morning. Good morning.
That's my homeboy right there.
They're Ray Ray cousin. Down in the Opelousas, turn around the corner on Mississippi.
Mississippi.
You gotta fix your mouth.
Come get him.
Fix your mouth right.
Come get him, Donald.
Tell everybody where you from, Donald. Tell everybody where you at right now.
I'm in Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Pascagoula.
Yeah.
Ashley, you ever heard of Pascagoula, Mississippi? You ever heard of that before?
I haven't.
You have?
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm from Meridian.
You about to scare me when you say you don't heard of that.
It's around Biloxi and Gulfport.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
I'm from South Carolina, but I'm definitely gonna tune in.
It's a stone. How do you say it?
A stone throw.
Yeah, away from Biloxi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where it's at. But Donna, what do you say about your president, man? He's $700 some in taxes, but he walked away with all this money. Is that corrupt? Is that right? How does that work?
He says he's smarter than everybody else. That's what he said. But hey, look, let me tell you something. Let me just say, if a crook can get away with stuff, he's gonna be a crook as long as they let him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. But and I say this, just me now. Every dog got his day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may get away, but you can't get. You may get by, but you're not gonna get away.
Come on.
But if anybody thinks he's so smart, why don't you try it? See how it works out for you.
Oh, it ain't gonna work out for you at all.
I love when Donald say that.
How it work out for you?
How it gonna work out for you? I love when you say that.
Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Then we're gonna go back to Ashley. Ashley got a lot going on. I want to make sure we cover everything that she got going on, man. This young sister, I'm so proud of her, man. She's doing so much. Man. And the thing about it, her heart is in the right place.
Right.
Her heart, and that's the biggest compliment I could give her, man. Her heart is in the right place. That's the biggest compliment. So, Leonard, what's on your heart?
She has a great business because, one, it looks at what's needed. She already is a professional. She already has professional licensure, experience. She knows what she's doing. So gradually, she will become exactly what it is she's setting out to do
Mm-hmm.
because she's prepared for it. She got the experience for it. She sees what it looks like. She's working for somebody else now that runs a business doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So she just watches what she does and uses that information and becomes a business on her own.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing about being a professional. Your license is your license to do business.
Mm-hmm.
So look at help like you have somebody say, I really want to help people. I really want to help veterans do A, B, C, or D. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What actually do you want to do for veterans? Well, I want to provide a place. Do you have a place? Well, no, I don't. I just want a home where they gonna live. See, those are the types of things that you think about. She can go from home to home, help folks who have decided to keep their loved ones at home. She could set their home up in the best way to provide care for that particular individual.
Mm-hmm.
Down the road, she'll get herself hooked up to the point where she can accept payments from providers like the government.
Mm-hmm.
Because of her status and things like that, puts her in line for certain benefits and grants and things, because her business really has a lot of heart in it, and there's a lot of things that she's doing that people see so worthy that they'll just grant you money to do your business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because this is big. Like, say, for instance, if you notice, like in my area, I've noticed a huge growth in facilities to care for elderly individuals.
Mm-hmm.
So in the last 3 to 5 years, we've had 4 major complexes for senior living go up where I live. And you're like, man, then you go check them out and you see how much they cost. Guess what? They run around $6,000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you know who they're for.
Mm-hmm.
They're for the wealthy people who already had them healthy IRAs and 401ks, and now they can afford that type of care.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a huge business.
Yeah.
And when you look at definitely at the economics and things, who's going to be able to afford to provide all this care?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be? I couldn't have afforded to put my mother in that place.
Exactly.
So we're going to need what?
Mm-hmm.
This healthcare industry move towards serious in-home care. As a matter of fact, my mother was a nurse and godmother was a nurse, and that's where they retired doing that type of nursing,
mm-hmm.
going to people's homes. It was called Visiting Nurses, was one of the big companies.
Mm-hmm.
And Visiting Nurses started out just like that.
Wow.
Going to people's homes and providing medical services and checks for them.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
And now you can build your own clientele pretty much now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's excellent business to be in.
Oh man,
Yes.
she's doing it. Go ahead, Ashley. We got a caller. We're gonna go to that caller in just 1 second. But go ahead, Ashley. What's on your heart?
Oh no, I was just listening, but thank you so much. I absolutely do my best. And just in case, I don't know if you guys saw, I didn't really put the whole picture,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to be able to be involved. So that, that's why I have the organization,
Mm-hmm.
the 501(c)(3),
Mm-hmm.
so that they have that support group outside of me coming or having those medical providers coming to their home.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still involved, hands-on, physically and emotionally.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How much?
Because people that
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
people that get the in-home care are the special needs kids and adults.
Mm-hmm.
The organization, the nonprofit, is for special needs kids and adults.
Mm-hmm.
That consists of, I didn't mention, but the special needs Special Olympics, the autism walk, and different things like that. Like this year, Walgreens are partnering up to do a fundraiser to orchestrate those kids' Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure they have Christmas gifts and things like that. So it all goes hand in hand with each other.
Okay.
So you have that part and you have the work part, which is the medical in-home care.
Let me ask you this question, Ashley, and then we're gonna go to the caller. So caller, hold on, we're coming to you next. What you're doing, if you don't handle it and tackle it in the right way, it can really pull on your heartstrings and be very emotional for you. How do you keep yourself at a balance?
I said that is true. I've experienced that a few times, well, a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because working in the medical, especially when you have that personal care, you have that personal close and action relationship with those patients. It do hurt when they're leaving.
Yeah.
The thing that gives me peace is because I was blessed that I had patience, that I had a relationship with God.
Come on.
I had patients that was, nonverbal, etc. They couldn't count to 1 to 20. But they can sing, Jesus loves me, this I know.
Yes.
Like without missing a beat. So that gives me closure because at the end of the day, as my father told me, it is a road that all of us have to take. And we was born alone, we're gonna leave this world alone. So we need to make sure that our heart, minds, and souls are ready and prepared.
Go ahead, preacher. I'm listening to you, preacher. I'm listening to you, preacher. Amen. Amen. Pass the plate, preacher.
When they leave, and things happen. It hurts. It does.
Yeah.
Like I dealt with 2 deaths back to back, July and September. And I was extremely close to them. But I knew that they was fine. They prepared me before they left, and that's the beautiful thing that I love about God. How He blessed them to be able to know. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, it's sudden." It was sudden to us, but not to them. And I honestly believe that because every patient that I worked with, especially ones that I was close, hinted that they were leaving, and some was very firm. I'm leaving, and until we accepted it. And when we finally did, they left. So it gives me closure to knowing that they're in a better place. Way better than here. This is the hard part, not there.
Yeah.
Unless you didn't make him, have that relationship and you didn't make him, your Lord and Savior. So I know it's gonna have ups and downs, but emotionally I'm prepared because I know that God has greater.
Yes.
And He already had a plan. So
good deal. Good deal. We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Gary Womack, Atlanta, Georgia. Good morning, everyone.
What's going on, man? How you doing this morning?
I'm getting this coffee down, man. I'm waiting on the coffee. Ashley gonna break me. That's what wakes me up.
We do have Ashley on the line, man. An amazing young,
amazing
young lady.
Tears, man, listen to her. I'm so proud of her. And good morning to everybody else. I want to let y'all know that Ashley is a quintessentially a fervent woman of God, and she loves the Lord. We work together every day. I apologize for my absence. I've been going through. Got a broke arm. And I'm here this morning. I give God the glory, man, to be online.
Yes, sir. Good to have you. Yes, sir.
And so proud of her, man. I mean, just listening to her, because I thought I was going to have to be online. The kind of culture she had them butterflies yesterday, but hey, man, she's doing well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Very well, And with that little quirky laugh, So.
Look here, man. Y'all,
what are we talking about?
Well, actually, this is Black Friday, and we're actually talking everything about business, man. We're talking about the different levels of business. And then Ashley, she blessed us, man. She called in and tell us all the things that she's doing. Now, I wonder how big her head is, man, because she wearing a lot of hats. So she must got a pretty big old head. I'm trying to figure it out.
Hey, man, she be on my head, I'm talking about just tear my big old head up. Talking about, but boy, you got the biggest head, So, even my grandkids, you probably got a big head, So, thanks somebody being on my team right here. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But one thing about her, man, she even yesterday, I was talking about my books and talking about this publisher that, they want to give me a chance. And I was talking to Ashley's cousin in North Carolina, and they put, they had so much amped up interest, you follow me, and wanting to, do something to really get those books out there. And I hadn't had nobody to take that much interest since I had talked to Page Publishing, which is in New York, and they needed an outlay of money, and actually looked at me with the most fervent eye contact. She said, we're going to take care of that. She said, we're going to take care of that. And she's got a little boy named Braylon. Oh, my God, he acts just like him. Well, all those kids are so quintessentially different, okay? But Braylon, he's only 5, and I gave him a little car, a little Matchbox car this past weekend. And he said, do you ride in that? I said, yeah, Braylon. He said, how you get in it? I said, I have to shrink, and get down.
Yes,
the man told me, do it. He said, do it then. And she's like that. She would challenge you. She said, well, we're going to do this. She said, we're going to get this book out here. She said, we got to get your GoFundMe account doing that. And I was so elated, by that, because nobody is, I'm over here, I don't say I'm disabled, but I just deal with physical, imperatives. But for her, you know what I'm saying, Raheem?
Yeah.
To have somebody not just, being your nurse, she's a wonderful nurse, and I'm not just tooting her horn this morning. I know what the girl can do. And, not only take interest in my physical, imperatives and my physical frailties, but even some areas of my business frailties. She's like, I got you. And so when you talk about a savvy businesswoman, and like I say, man, I'm looking at this and at a unbiased point of view to her. If I was, talking to third party, the girl got her head on straight.
Good deal. Good deal.
To be that young, you see.
Now, see, hold on. Now, let me go ahead and say this, everybody. Now, you can't give a preacher a microphone, Corey. You're gonna talk for 45 minutes. So let me stop this preacher. Hold on. You can't give a preacher a microphone. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
You wanted me to come on air now. I didn't know you on the time frame. I apologize to everybody else.
We got 50 people on here. You're gonna talk for 45 minutes. Lord, my Jesus.
I apologize.
Let me go to Donna.
How about that?
There you go. Donna Toussaint, what's on your heart, man? Donna, let me ask you this question, man. I know your heart for people as well, man. And when you hear, I don't know how old Ashley is, but when you hear a young lady that's doing so much, man, and have her head on right and going in the right direction, what does that do for you, Donna?
You know what? Listen to my mother talk. I listened to her. She had one ingredient that sets the stage. She says, "But when God." The rest of it, you don't have to say nothing. You don't have to say anything else. You got the foundation that you need because He says, and because we're the church.
Yes, sir.
He says, "On this rock I'll build my church." And when you set that as your foundation, especially when you hear a young person, if that come out of your mouth, you're on the right road. You don't have to worry about that. Because even your enemies will be your footstool.
Come on. Yes, sir.
No, I'm saying this from where I'm at. No, I'm talking about no weapon. With that foundation you talking about, and young like you are, you're talking about being the head and not the tail, the world and not the wind and not the bar. Because the heart of people is not what you do, it's your motive behind what you do. If your motives are right,
You have a heart for people.
Yeah.
I promise you. And I don't know you from Adam's cat, but I'm telling you, and anybody else that has that type of foundation, you keep on doing what you're doing. And when a door opens, and plenty of doors are going to open, and I don't like to, talk to people, but I'm telling you what I'm telling you because I'm telling you what I'm telling you. There is no door.
Yeah.
That you'll be able to knock on that ain't that's not going to open. All the doors and people that seem to be blocking. God will close some doors in your life that you never thought. So I say to that, just keep on doing what you're doing. And I'd like to be a fly on the wall.
Exactly.
I won't say nothing.
Okay, Gary.
Let's stick with her.
Gary. Whoa, man.
Okay, let them know. I won't call you when nothing else. Whatever I gotta.
I'm about to hang up on Gary. Let him call back in because Gary got another conversation going on back there.
Conversation.
Gary, Ashley, hey, that's your brother, but he got something else going on back there, boy. He got a whole conversation going on. He forgot to hit his mute button. But Bishop, you being Bishop, and you heard the young lady. She said what she said, but God. Now we're talking about, and I don't know why I'm led to say this, but we're talking, and Donna said, I'm piggybacking off what Donna just said, say the doors will be open. But it was just led on me to say that by the time she stepped on the first step of that door, the door gonna swing open, and she ain't even have to knock on the door. Soon as she stepped on the porch, the door's gonna swing open, and the only thing she has to do is walk on in.
Well, one thing for certain, and anything you do, we walk by faith and not by sight. And if you do put God first and keep God in the front lit of whatever you got going on, it's impossible not for it to be successful.
Yeah. Come on.
We can do all things through Christ.
Come on.
Who strengthens us. My faith lies in Him, and then my faith lies in my ability to do different things to just let God cultivate and capitalize on what we got going on. So I'm gonna keep trusting in God. I love the fact that she talked about God, and I love the fact that she keeps God as a source of comfort when she's going through whatever she's going through. But I say this too: if we don't succeed the first time,
come on,
you don't have to quit.
No,
because God is leading you in another direction sometimes. And if you just continue to trust in Him and wait on the Lord, and everything will be all right. Ask me how I know, and I'll tell you so.
Come on now.
God that brought me from a mighty long way, bro.
Well,
and everything I did, I put Him in it. And I start my day off with a prayer, and I end my day with a prayer.
Say it now.
Donald, get your cousin. Get your cousin, Donald.
Well, look here. I thought you was about to go on to preaching, brother. I'm gonna help you out. We can work this thing out together.
Well, you put me for a mic, but I love what we got going on today. We're talking business. Black Friday. DKM Media Group. Share it. Share with your friends.
Yes.
He's giving you the number. Tell them the number so they can call in.
678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. I'm gonna say it again for the people that didn't have a pen.
There you go.
678-381-1973. That's what it is. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Leonard, I'm about to say it to you, brother. I'm about to say it to you, Leonard.
Let me say it.
Go ahead, say it.
What?
Oh, boy. Hey, I've been wanting to say that, man.
Bishop had you lined up, brother. He was about to see you. He was about to say it to you. You know what he was about to say it to you. I was going to say it. He reached over. He said, "Hold on, let me say it. Let me say it, Lord Jesus."
Can I say it anyway?
Say it anyway.
Leonard, wake up and go to sleep.
What's on your heart, Leonard?
I'm just listening to you all talking about the business end because, I was very much involved, especially since I know so many who are in that field and how awesome that service is because of prior issues and having to have in-home health care and how important it was that those nurses had the right spirit when they come into your home.
Yes.
And let me tell you, you will meet some nurses that you don't even want to go to the doctor no more. I'm just going to say, you don't care if you ever go back to a hospital or anything like that because of their demeanor and things of that nature. We have had several nurses, and up front, if we have an issue, guess what? You got to change that nurse out for us. But thankfully and prayerfully, when you meet those believers along the way, that is such a blessing, because so many people are being abused and taken advantage of. And now, even when you put a loved one now in a nursing home, you need to be up there almost every other day, if not every day sometimes. So, this is the way. If any young people go into nursing, because this will always be a form of income as well. And you're going to have a professional license to do this wherever you go, just about. So it's up to you. Like, you can maintain how many number of clients and all types of things once you become a business. But when you meet that nurse that's a nurse from her heart, that's a whole lot different than somebody that's just coming to get a check.
Yeah.
Amen.
Exactly. Go ahead, Ashley. I know you can speak on that, Ashley. Go ahead.
I agree with him 100%. I've left jobs because of that. Not because I'm a quitter or I'm a failure, but I've encountered those situations. I even talked to, in the medical field, you're able to report incidents. You have to do an incident report. If you saw something happen, they tell you speak up, etc. Right? When you're doing your orientation and things like that. But when you do, then you stand out. And you're by yourself. So they have other things for that as well. And I've experienced that because I saw med techs that were trying to force the patients to take their medication. And I have to correct them. No. Your job is not to force. That is illegal, because they have the right to refuse. Lawfully, you're supposed to respect those rights. You cannot make somebody take something, because that's their right and that's their will. And it is a lot of people that's in it for money. But those people, they definitely are recognized, because you can tell by, like you said, their demeanor, the way that they talk. You can tell when they walk in a room, the look on their face.
Yeah.
And I don't like to be around people like that, because one, that's like somebody that picked a bad career, whatever the case may be. And they're miserable because they have to be there. Well, we didn't tell you to do that, So you definitely need to have a heart working in the medical field, because you're going to have those challenging days. You're going to have challenging patients. But if you don't have, if you don't have that peace within, and you're not prepared, I've had days like that, that I went into work and I've dealt with difficult patients. But what I do is I pray before I go in, and I ask God. I ask God to help me, But I don't know. I guess the thing that works for me is because it reminds me, when Jesus was washing her feet.
Come on, girl. Come on now.
Even though he was Jesus, he didn't put himself on this high pedestal like he was too good, So literally every day, that's how I feel. I don't feel like, okay, I'm Nurse Ashley XYZ. I honestly feel like a humble servant, because I'm not too good. Like,
that's good.
I know what it's like to have. I know what it's like not to have. I know what it's hard work, what it takes to do hard work. I know what it's like not to have a job. So I appreciate things from all angles and aspects,
Exactly.
That's good. Bishop, you wanted to say
something? Man, I'm going to flip the script. I know we're talking business, but since we went there, and Ashley led me here.
Yeah, she preaching.
Ashley led me here.
She preaching.
Hey, bro, she started something.
Wow.
She started something. Leonard, I'm going to need you to come in on this one. We're talking business.
Yes.
Our churches now business and no longer worship centers. Ashley, you did it. So come on.
Let's
start this conversation. I need to hear from Donald. I need to hear from Ashley. I need to hear from Leonard. Come on, I need to hear. And those who are watching us, y'all call in and voice your opinion.
Yeah.
Because now we're talking business, but it looks like that's the direction the church is going to for profit. Raheem may not invite me back.
You ain't coming back. You ain't coming back.
Been there, though.
Gary said they've been there.
They've been there. All right, come on, Gary.
What's the question?
He said, "Our churches businesses now, our churches more into the financial gain than they are the spiritual awakening."
Well, church, who created it? The person that created it should be able to let you know exactly what it is. I don't care how you feel about it. Business has to be taken care of. There are certain business aspects of having a church in the United States of America that you need to tend to.
Right.
And so, I mean, I've never had a problem with it. And, you know, people get it confused. Well, it's supposed to be about this. It's supposed to be about what you want it to be about. Now go talk to the man, started this church, and he can let you know what his plan for this church was. Every church is not a missionary church. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
Every church is not the same.
Come on.
They're not created for the same purposes. It's a religious, how about, let's use a better word, a religious organization.
That's good. That's good.
Because it's going to take organization to keep it going. Now, the thing about it is, it happens to be extremely profitable.
Yes.
It just happens to be extremely profitable. Especially if you have a really, really good head who is an educated person, who writes, sings, you know, he may be a recording professional. You got gospel artists. A lot of times they say, hey, guess what? You mean I can sit a 501c3 next to my recording business?
Hey, Leonard, let me ask you this question. Let me step in for just 1 second, because you said something just now. You said you could be a recording artist. Now, I know that Marvin Sapp is now a bishop.
Yeah, Marvin's bishop.
Marvin Sapp is a bishop now, and if he go up there, and it's tithe time, and it's the time for the tithe, and he say, "I'm not gonna go into this long speech. You know what God has done for you. You know what God has done for you,
yes.
And according to what God has done for you, I want you to come up here and pay your tithe in your office." And then he go into that saying, "Never would have made it."
But you know what? But you know what?
See,
but you know what? You need.
You know how much money people can bring up there?
That never would have made it. That's his business.
But you know how much money people can bring up there, man? Because he can pull on the heart screen. He said, "Never would have made it."
Oh, this man trying to show out over here, man.
Without,
I ain't man.
I would have lost it all.
Hey, it seems like it's gonna be a singing competition. You don't want to get me started now.
Hey, Gary, watch that. I ain't gonna fool with you, Bishop. Hey, Gary. Now, if that happened,
what, man?
People gonna just bring all the money they got in their pocket, man. They gonna bring the ATM card, just throw it out there, man. They gonna throw the credit cards out there.
They love Marvin.
Hey, you know,
I wasn't encouraged to bring you a dime at that point.
Go ahead. All right, hey, Leonard.
He like a gospel Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm saying?
Leonard, Gary.
Bishop.
Hey.
Never would have made it.
Well, I know I ain't gonna give no money to Gary.
Never would have made it.
Gary. Gary, stop it, man. Stop it, man. Stop it, Gary.
But you know,
Gary ain't gonna get a dime.
All jokes aside,
yes, sir.
Go ahead.
People are really casting the church negatively for the very simple fact, by nature, what ministers do is very appealing. And I think the Bible even makes reference to gifted men who are gifted this way.
Is it good business
But
practice?
now, when you opened your mouth, I did not feel like bringing you no money.
Man, what you trying to say, brother?
I'm just saying.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wait a minute. What you trying to say, brother? Hold on.
Ministry.
Funny this morning.
Hey,
Never would have made
It's
it
very lucrative.
without
Ministry
you.
by nature is lucrative.
I would have lost.
So, and I think that's what what people get caught up in sometimes, and they ruin churches and things of that nature too, and lose focus.
Yeah.
But now, just because you're making money and things of that nature don't mean it don't need to be managed properly. You have a board of directors a lot of times. You have a board of directors. Churches set agendas and budgets and things like that and have to be accountable for their monies too. Most churches have finance meetings that you can go to and things like that. If you really want to find out what the nature of the church is and what they're spending money on, you know. So it's not like somebody taking your money and then hiding it from you. If you see you sitting in a beautiful temple, you know, you see you how much you think it costs. So you know, you don't know how much it costs to administer a feeding program on a regular basis. You know, so you can't just sit there and I hope they bring some money today. You should have a plan for how you're going to budget spending on your feeding program for your church.
Okay, and what you're playing, I gotta get the money out of their pocket and into this bucket. I gotta get the money out of their pocket.
And we're not gonna act like one if you really smart enough. Now your religion aside and or how you feel aside, the state is set up perfectly for churches to make this money. It's just the nature of the state when it comes to it. It's not necessarily evil. It is the nature of the state, and it's how it handles these religious organizations and nonprofit corporations.
I want to interject real quick. This Womack, the greatest gift to any righteous minister, not a good minister, but a righteous minister. You know, the dope boy can be good to you. Buy enough dope, they'll give you another bag of dope. We don't need good ministers. We need righteous men and women of God. The greatest thing for them is to be able to hear that unadulterated, uncut voice of the living God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, when you are able, that person or those elders who are in leadership, they must know how to distinct their spirit being from their fleshly being. And you ought to be held accountable for that. The word says faith without works is dead. So you got a moral how can I put it? A moral duty to be able to withstand who you are as a man or woman of God, to not get caught up in that and letting folk know, well, since I got a BMW, like Raheem, you know, I'm supposed to, since I'm on his radio.
Wait a minute, brother.
Hey, go ahead. Keep talking, Womack.
Wait a minute, brother.
Keep talking.
Never would have made
I'm gonna keep Raheem prayed up. Because you know what? What's for me is for me. But I'm just talking about. I'm talking about Raheem. You know, I love that car, and you know, and I love you even more. But the God that blessed you with it even more. To keep you blessed, brother. Amen.
Amen.
But yet still, we not to get caught up in that, you know. And the minister shouldn't get the congregation caught up in that.
All right,
preacher. If I come to your church, look at how preachers living and this and that. Pastor said I'm gonna get this. Pastor said I'm gonna have that. You know, no, Pastor prayed over my ministry and hoping, even if I gotta hold tight to the prayer of Jabez. You know, God comes to give life and life more abundantly. The devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. He's a liar. And you know, you got a lot of them up there in the pulpit telling lies. And you know who their father is. So, you know, when you hear that, you know, maybe you need to maybe you just need to listen. You got to stay in your own word, man. And be ye held. You know what I'm saying? Better to show your own self-approved.
Okay, preacher.
So you can distinct.
Preacher.
So you can distinct who's coming at you
Preacher.
and what's coming at you.
Preacher.
To cover not
Preacher.
only you,
Can you hear me, preacher?
your wife, your children, and your family.
Man, that preacher.
The greatest thing
Preacher.
to any
Hold on. Okay, Gary. Now let me go to somebody else, because Gary ain't gonna stop talking. Lord, my Jesus.
Donald still there?
Man, yeah. Lord, my Jesus. Boy, look at him. Boy, look at him. Lord, G, that brother, that boy. I said, preacher, and he kept calling, preacher. Almighty, what is really going on? Have I lost
Actually, I hope you're on your way. All right.
Okay, hold on for a second. Both of y'all hold on for a second. Let me go to Donald Toussaint. Donald Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to us. Because Gary ain't going to stop. Donald Toussaint. Oh, Bishop, get ready.
Uh-huh.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm going to say it one more time. Donald Toussaint, you there?
Donald, wake up and go to sleep.
See? Ashley, what's on your heart right now? We don't took a turn, but like I said, it's a good turn because we're talking about the Lord. So what's on your heart?
I agree with what Pastor said the first time. You know, it's all about how that church is ran, how that pastor and how their concept is. Every church is different, and just because they're bringing in income or that church is prospering doesn't mean that that's not a good pastor. Because if we're being honest, the church is inside of you. We go to fellowship and to worship on one accord. I just think like pretty much, I mean, it's whoever's concept, it's that person, it's that own individual's concept and how they view things and how they like to see things done.
That's good. That's good. Bishop.
I mean, I put a lot of pastors out there. However, I personally, I was in church 7 days a week. My mom is a minister. And I did for a short period of time attend World Changers Church International.
7 days.
I'm being honest. I'm being honest. When I was a child, and you go to church 7 days a week, you know, the job, you wasn't really, you was there, but you wasn't 100% focused. You know what I mean?
Amen.
And when I went to World Changers Church International, they have team ministries. We need that. You need a part, you know, where teams can go and get the word on their level. Because you have, you know, new millenniums, have different groups, and everybody's not on the same level. Even in ministry, we're all on different levels. My faith may not be as strong as someone else's. You know, they may be in a different area than I'm in. However, everybody needs to be able to get the word on their level. That's why you go to a church that can be your spirit.
That's good.
And with the team ministry, I was able to establish a relationship at my age on that level because even though, you know, I grew up on hands and things like that, I still was able to express myself as an individual and still get that same love and that same feeling across just on my level.
Now let me ask you a question, Ashley. How did Kirk Franklin change the church?
Let's go.
He brought the consistent. He brought the consistent in there. You know, I actually, when I was younger, and that song was out, I think I was in elementary, and I remember so quite well. You know, I used to sing the rap part. That used to be my part right there. Well, Mama, you know, she had street ministry, prison ministry, and different things like that. We would literally, you know, do praise dances, praise rehearsals, everything, you know. But that rap part, that was my part right there, you know. But they have different, you know. Now,
hey, Ashley, how did that go? How did the rap part go? Do you remember?
When I think about the goodness and the fullness of God, make me thankful, even hateful and grateful. The Lord brought me through this part. I try to be cute when I praise him high. I keep a live beat bumping, eating, jumping, make the Lord feel something. Ain't a shame on my gang, God's property. Wouldn't give a curse, not stopping. It's don't.
Whoa!
That's my nurse.
Whoa!
That's my nurse, y'all. Come on.
Hey, hold on, everybody. Hey, Gary, calm down, man.
Oh no.
I'm excited, but that's my nurse. But
Well, look at let me go to Leonard. Leonard, what's on your heart right now? You know, Leonard, bring us back, Leonard. Gary, not get on here, man. I don't know what the world Gary doing this morning.
Bring you back for what?
I'm just got the joy of the Lord, but I'm proud.
Gary, somebody else want to talk, man.
Now, I gotta say something. I just got this one question. I want y'all to answer this question for me. Do you want a revolution?
Yeah.
Thank y'all for joining us. We'll see y'all next week. Lord, my Jesus, where in the world are we right now? Where are we at right now? Where are we right now? Look at
y'all are terrible. But you know, a lot of, even like when working with DKM, and when I was first started with you, and I would meet ministers and pastors, you know, and they were very interested in the activist part, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So coming, you know, being born and raised in the church, I wasn't really aware. This I think is one of the biggest issues for me, is that if you have a church, why do you not already have programs related to feeding the poor, clothing those who need clothing, and helping people find resources, and like say, for instance, not just healthcare, but homes if they're homeless. I mean, to me, a church should provide a lot more than a Sunday service. You know,
yes, sir.
Does that make sense?
It does, absolutely.
And so I think that church is gonna have to learn that. And all these ministers sitting in these pulpits and everything, you need to make that a lot more functional.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't go to church just to come and sit with a robe on. Mm-hmm. If you're a church right now and you don't have a social justice ministry, you better get your act together.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know what else you're doing. Mm-hmm. You know, now I'm not knocking the folks that just want to get together every Sunday and just sing songs and stuff like that. That's your right. But a real church should be doing things in the community.
Mm-hmm.
You should. I mean, I've worked with folks. You know, like I said, they started off wrapping sandwiches and taking them to people in the park who were drug addicts and homeless people and things of that nature. I was born and raised in a missionary Baptist church where we visited the old folks' home. We took donuts and coffee to veterans. We did all these things in the community, food boxes, good neighbors missions, and all these things. I think what has happened is the African-American church is to really make sure that people actually know where they can come for help. If anything else, when somebody knocks on their door, you got to be able to feed them, you got to put some clothes on their back, and you got to be able to help them find some type of housing.
A good deal. Let me ask
because people will spread the word more about you that way instead of you doing what the world would do to gain customers. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Let me ask Bishop this question right here, Bishop. Why is the Catholic Church? Why does it appears as though the Catholic Church is much more profitable than a lot of the other churches?
Because they understand business.
Hold on. I said Bishop, Leonard. Look at that. Look at what you're doing there, Leonard. Boy, y'all, look at. I done lost all control this morning. Lord help me, Bishop. What you doing, Bishop?
Man, my camera over here.
Do you want me to go in the corner?
No, not yet.
I need you over here behind me, Leonard. Don't get in no corner.
Hey! Y'all get ready, cause I believe Leonard gonna come over there. Y'all get ready, get that corner ready. Go ahead, but why do you think the Catholic Church?
Because they're very devout.
Okay.
And they really believe in their organization, so they do everything that they can to support it. we who are of this Protestant faith, and some would that's what we are. We don't really value what we got going on in our churches and organizations. But those the Catholics, they're so committed, then they, regardless to whatever, they will dedicate their money to their organization. And ours,
are they to a certain degree? Do you think at times it could be where they're trying to buy their way into heaven?
Well, that's the same thing with a lot of other churches, whether they're Protestant or Catholic. They try to buy their way in. But this is a living way. You just can't buy your way into the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
So this thing come without money, without price. So
how do you feel about going into a confessional booth and professing yourself, not to God necessarily, but to that person that's on the outside of that booth?
He the only one I'm gonna confess to. I ain't sitting in no booth telling nobody that.
Huh?
I ain't sitting in no booth telling nobody, Father, I have sinned. Now, if I'm gonna talk to the Father, that's gonna be God, and say, Father, forgive me of my sin, because this man and woman don't have a heaven and hell to put me in, and they cannot atone my sin. Repentance is what atones my sin. If I repent of what I've been doing, those sins are blotted out. Acts 3:19 said, repent and be converted.
Oh Lord, get a preach the mic, y'all. Go ahead.
Man, I'm just saying that's what it said. Repent and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out. And it's just like, you slap me, and then you say, when Greg, I'm sorry, Bishop, I'm sorry. Then 2 minutes later, you slap me again. Were you sorry the first time?
No. I was, but I like balance and I like justice. And if I'm gonna slap you on the right side, I say I'm sorry, but I didn't do your left side no justice because I held back on the left side, so I got to slap that left side just so we can have a balance, and then we can move forward.
Leonard, my E.F. Hutton of this station. Leonard, tell him what I'm going to do, because I don't want to say it. Tell him what I'm going to do when he go for the left side.
Y'all going to be rad.
There you go. I'm going to be laying hands. They already told me to bring the holy water. Just bring the water on it.
But see, the thing about it is it's out of love, bro.
I want to comment, Raheem.
Yes, sir.
About your comment about the Catholic Church, all jokes aside, because one thing I will definitely shout out the Catholic Church for is providing programs for the inner cities. When I was coming up, the Catholic Church seemed like they had a part in every program for kids in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
They had opportunities where you could come in the summertime so you wouldn't be out there in the street. And the difference of the matter is they use government subsidies to do it. Not to mention the overarching part from the Catholic Church as far as the donations and benevolence and things of that nature. They've always been that because they've always had money. Okay. You got to remember, I get on the Catholic Church, but there's good and bad in lots of different people and organizations. And that's one of those organizations where you can't look over the good things that they did do. Because at one point, they were handling a lot of Head Start programs, a lot of early preschool learning programs. Like I said, when I was younger, they sponsored so many summer programs for kids. And that particular church was very active in that community till y'all laid a dead body on them steps one Sunday morning.
Good Lord.
And they had to leave the neighborhood. So, and a lot of people.
Wait a minute, Leonard. Hold on, Leonard. Wait. They laid a dead body on the steps of the church.
But this is really what moved a lot of these resources out of our communities. When you got to worry about the church being broken into and robbed, that's the issue.
Yeah.
And then I used to always say to myself, man, if I could have went to a Christian school, you didn't have a lot of Protestant Christian schools that you could afford to go to. And you know how much Catholic tuition used to be. I don't know how much it is now, I'm not sure. But remember that when that was an issue, you send your kids to Catholic schools when you got a little bit of money. Because they were running actual schools for your children. And now, when I had the opportunity and I was going to a church with the school, I'm like, I thought this ain't for poor people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So there was still that divide when it comes to providing an education, a Christian-based education that the community could afford.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be business-minded to understand how to take advantage of resources set aside for churches. The conflict is when you go in there and get that money and then don't nobody see you no more and don't nobody see that money.
Yeah, yeah. I just poured something up here. I just poured something up here
for 150,000 and only 10,000 made it to the church.
I just poured.
The issue.
Hey, Leonard, I just poured something up, man. I just poured something up, Leonard, and it's saying that it's almost $10,000 a year, and that may be on the low end. $10,000 a year to attend Catholic school.
Negroes was becoming Catholic for discounts where I was from.
Wow. Ashley, what's on your heart right now? We lost you for a second, sister, but good to have you back. What's on your heart?
Yeah, I'm back now. Just catching up with you guys. I missed out, so I left off. I don't even know where you guys left off at. But my mom actually, my mom, she pretty much was involved in the community. She was outside of her being RN. My mom, we still kind of similar to me. That's quite funny now that I'm looking back. My mom's a retired RN. She was a manager at the Boys and Girls Club as well.
Mm-hmm.
And she was very much so involved in, in the community. She pretty much was like the counselor. She would go to the schools and check on the kids. She did street ministry, prison ministries. We made sandwiches and different things like that, bag lunches, and passed them out. And we did praise dances, all of the above. And I'm extremely proud of my mother. She was in a process of building a Christian school in South Carolina, and they had a minor setback. He had a minor setback because my stepfather was diagnosed with, I'm not going to say a setback, it was a stumbling block, because my father was diagnosed with cancer. So he's fighting that, and I know he's a strong guy, so she haven't done it, but my mom wanted to also start a Christian school.
That's good. And from what you're saying and how powerful you're saying that your mother is, is that old saying holds true, that the apple don't fall too far from the tree. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. So if that apple gonna fall off the tree, it ain't gonna fall across town. Bishop, go ahead. Yes, exactly. Go ahead, Bishop.
And we're still dealing with business. And we had to, and I had to incorporate the church because a lot of churches are now for profit, where they're supposed to be non-profit. I don't have a problem with them sowing, great wealth into the church, the organization. But I do look at the churches having programs in place, just like Leonard was saying, that would cater to the young people. And like Ashley was saying, we got to put stuff together because we're living in a time where we need to bring our young people back to God and attract them to it. But the church does have business that they have to take care of. Georgia Power don't say because you're a church or a religious organization, don't worry about paying this power bill.
You pay the bill.
The same thing with the water or gas, whatever service that you're having, you have to pay for.
You pay the bill.
And you can't expect the pastor to pay it. When you're the pastor, we need your aid. We need your finances to help us be able to sustain and put programs together.
Pastor, hold on now. Pat, you gotta pay the bill now. Hold on now.
Yeah.
Lights,
I'm gonna share something.
What do you mean I come in here and the lights turn off? Whoa.
Bro.
We're gonna have candlelight service?
Yeah, we're gonna have candlelight service. I promise you. and my wife can attest to this. Our church did not hurt because I was one of the principal financiers. My wife and I. We took care of the needs of the church, and then we also took care of the needs of the members of the church. Because that's what we did, and that's what we do.
That could be that could be taxing, though, bro.
It's very taxing. And you have to tell the folk now. Look here, I need your dollars like Georgia Power need mine. And we ain't trying to get rich, but there are things that we need. And should a pastor get paid? Absolutely, he needs to get it. You don't have to call him a salary. Give him a love offering, because the book said this. Now I got to take off my quote description. If we have sown into you spiritual things, it's a great thing that we reap the carnal. We're giving you the word of God, giving you spiritual life. Yes, you should requite us for what we're doing our labor. But I talk about my church, because I can do it, because you talk about DKM. My church is Restoration in Christ, and my Restoration International Ministries. And we tell the folks we're a cool church. That is the culture.
We're going to send you the bill for this commercial.
Thank you, sir. We're a cool church.
We're going to send you a bill for this commercial.
We're candid. That's what you're being right now. But we're also open. We're optimistic.
Ching-ching.
And we're loving.
I'm going to send you a bill for this commercial. What's the name of it again? I'm going to go ahead and give you the full commercial. What's the name of it again?
You going to give me the full commercial?
Yeah.
Restoration in Christ International Ministries.
Okay. If somebody want to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
Reach out 404-408-5540.
Okay.
404-408-5539.
No. Now each number is a charge. The first number is free, but when you start adding other numbers on that, it's more.
You said how the folks can get in touch with us.
Go ahead.
We're in the building stage. We're trying to bring people to Christ.
Okay.
And we're going to be loving. I'm going to tell you what is so good. My wife is an excellent cook.
Okay.
And she don't do it every Sunday now. But sometimes she just cook and feed the entire church.
It's good.
And I mean, brother, look at all this. All of this. What you shaking your head for?
Well, I want to look at well, I want to look over there for.
Good morning.
Raheem, you know, somebody had the audacity to say, "Is that your brother?" When they looking at me, and you, is that your brother?
You told me,
like, no, I thought it ain't my brother. Me, I don't look like me. I look good.
So basically, you're trying to say I don't look good.
No, I did not say that. I did not say that. You know, you my number one dude.
Let me see. I just try to call it. Okay, let me.
You're my number one.
Call back in, Minister Neil. Call back in, bro. We missed that. Apologize to you. Let me go back. Let me go. Donald Toussaint, are you back with us, brother?
Yeah.
Man, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. What's on your heart right now, brother? You know, you must have a little something. I know you're at work, man. What's on your heart?
No, look now.
Listen, London.
If you are, if you are doing something, if you are doing something positive, you are helping in your community. If you are helping people, people are going to help you. You don't have to worry about people giving or sharing with you. If you are doing something, that's what that's what people are looking for. Help. And we're the hand of Christ.
True.
And if people find out or see that you're doing something, you don't have to ask them for things. They're going to say, how can I help you in doing what you're supposed to be doing? Because they know what the church is supposed to be doing. One thing about
Donald, did we lose you, brother? Donald,
I'm going through the elevator.
I think we just lost Donald. I don't know what's going on with Donald line there. But Leonard, talk to me, brother.
You gonna stop picking on Diamond, bro?
Man, I just ain't number one truth. I just tell the truth, man. I don't know what the world going on with Donald this morning. What the world going on with him.
I want to ask a question to Bishop because I've been involved with very high level churches, and notice the difference between churches that are community based and focused on community. Like, say for instance, if you go to Ebenezer Baptist Church. They have so many. I mean, they have a business center.
Hey, Ashley, mute your line for me. Ashley, mute your line for me. Go ahead. I'll do that.
you know, with pastors, how many would you say that pastors readily look forward to engaging certain business prospects in the community, or are they leery because of, you know, possible corruption and things? Because there are a lot of programs that churches could take advantage of if the shepherd was that motivated. So what's the difference? Because I tell folks, if you wasn't an activist before you were a preacher, you're probably not going to be an activist as a preacher.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think when it comes down to community activism, they're somewhat leery. They don't want to get tied in or get misconstrued or be controlled by the government. So they somewhat distance themselves from certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when a church have different events, which talks about what's going on in the community, inviting different legislators inside so that they can talk about what they're doing, what they project to do as a representative of those individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But churches, because there's a misunderstanding between church and state, they shy away from it without educating or making sure they're educated to know that the government does not come in and control what goes on in the church.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting financial assistance and you say you got a program, the only thing that they can do is make you adhere to what you're saying you're doing through the program
mm-hmm.
by receiving that money.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to the gospel is freely preached. That's why we have freedom of religion, freedom of speech. And the government can't come in and tell you what to preach and what not to preach and look like they want to do that. But the reason these other churches or certain churches may not really get involved in what's going on is the fear of what the government may do, and
mm-hmm.
they don't understand it. So that's what you got going on.
Should a church have a 501c3?
A church really don't need a 501c3.
Mm-hmm.
501c3 is there if they want to get government assistance,
mm-hmm.
and the government assistance is for them to open up a daycare or some kind of program.
Mm-hmm.
You know, feed the hungry program.
Mm-hmm.
That's the purpose of getting the 501c3.
But the church itself
is
mm-hmm.
tax exempt.
Okay.
Because they're a religious organization.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And look, I was actually being, trying to be slick like Raheem.
Yeah.
And what Bishop just said is how you know what type of church you go to.
Mm-hmm.
That 501c3 is for programming.
Yeah.
It's for actual programs that you deliver and assistance you deliver to the community, not for you to hide income.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
See, a dope dealer will build you a church.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
that's good.
When you have to look at the motive of the shepherd, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because that really will let you know just about how that church is ran and why it's ran the way it's ran.
Mm-hmm.
But there are folks like, I always shout out my brother Keith Slaughter over there at Beloved Community.
Mm-hmm.
You can go over there, knock on that door anytime, get food. He got a little trailer over there to start an education center. So you see the work that he's done. It's fully open to the community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you know what type of church it is, because of the work that they do.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
What has happened now is, and I try to get people to understand, the majority of the people you see helping anybody are usually Christians who are members of churches. They just don't do it directed by their church.
Mm-hmm. That's good. And it's very true.
You can volunteer to work with other churches.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to be a member
to
work with a church. You just have to volunteer.
Mm-hmm. And put in the work.
And a lot of people come to church that way
mm-hmm.
from working with these things. Hey, we sing your church out there that Saturday, and I was working with such and such, and they invited me to your church. And that's the way you should really be trying to get members, is by being visible and working and doing the work in the community. And when you meet these people, they're ready to go to work. So now you have a person in your congregation that is willing to assist you with the work of the church,
mm-hmm.
as opposed to just coming down there, sitting down, and you entertaining them.
Good deal. Let me go to the phone line. I think we have Minister Neil. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How's everybody doing this morning?
Hey, doing good. What's on your heart, brother? I know you've been listening for a minute. What's on your heart?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can y'all hear me? Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Yeah. I know you've been listening for a minute, brother. What's on your heart?
Yeah. I mean, what I think what Leonard was just saying is so true. You know, one of the things that I try to teach people is that God not looking for membership, He's looking for discipleship.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on not numbers.
Mm-hmm.
That's more about the works. He's so right about that, because that's something I look at a church and I always say, how are you doing in your community? How are you doing with the surrounding community, right in your area, not outside your area? I've heard people tell me that they donate to Africa and any things of that nature, which is no problem.
Mm-hmm.
The pastor who trained me, one of the things he always told me, he said, if you can't take care of home, how can you take care outside of home?
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, we have to take care of what's inside the community first. That's one of the things that he instilled in me a lot. So that's why I don't mind going out and talking and being around people, because he always taught me that. So that was one of the things that was. But Leonard said is right on time. It's better to have discipleship than membership.
Good deal. Now, should the church have a 501c3?
I mean, that's interesting. I don't really, honestly, I don't care. Honestly, I just don't.
Okay.
I mean, if you're going to be taxed exempt, you can be taxed exempt. I don't care. I mean, that's here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because I think the works is what I'm more concentrated on than anything else. Okay.
Now let me go to Donna. Donna, if a church have a 501c3, how much say so would the government have over that particular what goes on in the church?
You'll find out when you start misappropriating the funds.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, matter of fact, let me just say this.
Mm-hmm.
Might help somebody. That my previous pastor, he actually is, and I hope I will do this. There are some people that work in the IRS that specifically helps churches or wind up substituting the trustee boards and deacons and some pastors because they get into 50C, however you say it. I can't get it down, but C3, and they misappropriate. They don't use the funds for what they say they're going to use it for, and you find out that they're going to jail because the government, you get the government in your business. And in order to get certain grants, and I'm not too bright, I just watch. You know, y'all more educated and familiar with all these things that I can ever be. That is stupid.
Mm-hmm. There ain't nothing stupid about you, brother. Ain't nothing stupid about you.
That's why I say if you do right, you won't have to worry. But a lot of times we try to get aid from the government, and there are government programs out there to help you do what you desire to do, help people, because that's what the government's supposed to be doing. And in order to get themselves in business or in the realm of things, because it's to help people. Mm-hmm. And if you're helping people, they have funds to help you help people, because that's what it's all about. Mm-hmm. People in leadership are supposed to be servants of the people they lead. So if you're a servant of the people, which God wants us to be servants of the people, that's why Jesus came and washed feet. Mm-hmm. He showed us how to do things. So if you're doing that, and if you say you're going to do that, you can get a 401c3 to help you do that. But if you start that and you start off right, and you don't end off right, they will come get you.
Mm-hmm. Knock on your door.
They're coming. Mm-hmm. And let me say this. You'd be surprised how many churches are run by drug dealers.
Mm. Wow. 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 That's
they hire, listen now, they hire a pastor or a preacher to do what he does, preach. But he don't run nothing. He has a salary. He's a hireman. There's a lot of things that's going on. I told you, I might not be bright, but I'm not stupid. No. But
wow.
If you are helping your community, there's somebody, even those that are in the community, that will be a part of what you're doing. All you have to do is do the right thing. Like this young lady that's on the phone now. All you have to do is be humble, continue to be a servant of the people, and not only the people that are around you, but the government will come in and assist you, and doors will be open like you've never seen before. But a lot of times we start off right, and because when the money starts running in, we start concentrating on the money. But continue to concentrate on the source and not the resources.
Come on. Go wrong. Come on. Good deal. Good deal. Ashley, you still with us?
Yes, sir. I'm still with you guys.
Okay. What's on your heart right now?
And guess who's in the car? We have a special guest in the vehicle.
Who in the car?
Mr. Womack.
No. Look here. No. Man, no, look. Lord, my Jesus. Lord, my Jesus.
Leave me alone. Don't put your belly in control.
But Ashley, what's on your heart right now? What do you say to that? 501c3 in church.
501c3, it all depends on what you're using a 501c for. Pretty much it exempts you from paying taxes and things like that. You really, like, people that I'm not gonna say need it, but can utilize it is people that's making a large profit. But people that are not or don't have or bringing in a large profit, they don't really need a 501c3.
Okay. Now, how much control do you think if a person has a 501c3, how much control would the government have over that particular institution?
I feel like they have a lot. It all depends, but I feel like they're going to be in your business more than you need them to actually be in your business. But it all depends on that business, you know.
Okay.
And then of course you have your paper trail, all your receipts, your business transactions, etc. Because at any given time, if they want to come, you're going to need to be able to provide those things to show proof of where those funds went to.
Okay, that's good. Bishop, what do you say to that? Do you think they have a lot of control? Or say so, if you will?
If you get the 501c3 and you're supposed to put a program together, that's the only dictation.
Everybody mute your line. We got some background noise. Everybody mute your line for me.
That's the only dictation that the government can come in and speak to you about. The sad thing is, since you posed that question where you did, that then also may open up, and as Donna said, it may open up other avenues for them to really look at what you're getting coming into the church.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the business. Now, what I got going on, well, what are you making in the church? So you really have to be careful. I don't oppose the 501c3, but you got to be careful.
Okay.
Yeah. It's that's a very thin line, because sometimes they'll find a reason. Let's see what you got going on in your finances over here. You remember what they tried to do to World Changes when they were trying to say how much Creflo was making, Paula White and TD Jakes. because more than likely they have a 501c3, and they don't want the two entities tied together, the church contribution and the federal money that you're getting from them.
Yeah. Okay.
So now they, oh, why are you making this much money? How are you making this much money? So that's why you really have to be careful with that 501c3.
Okay. Now let me go to Minister Neal. Minister Neal, what's on your heart right now? Minister Neal, you there?
I mean, yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. But again, I mean, that what Bishop just said is right on time. I mean, you're opening a Pandora box for you to referring to other avenues of the church. And you have to, if you prepare for that, if you don't care, then God bless you. But for me, I'm like, I refrain from a lot of that because I think that sometimes, again, even though sometimes everybody intent might not be the same. When the kind of money and cash flow not coming through the church like that, you find a lot of churches that have different money scandals as well. You start doing things like that. Because what happens, some people have other ambitions, something to say, when it comes to that money. So you have to be very careful about that. Very, very careful about that. You have to be very selective about who you have in charge as well. So those are the things that have to also be taken into consideration as well. So when you're doing these things, and you can, I mean, because the government is not going to hear, oh, I didn't know. They're not going to want to hear that.
Yeah, exactly.
They're very unforgiving when it comes to, especially when it comes to different federal funded programs that they're soliciting through you and through the church as well. So you gotta be real, real careful about it. There's a very, very fine line about that. That's why I say I don't really care if you get it or not, but you better understand there could be some costs behind it. So be careful about it.
Yeah, exactly. Now I want to mute your line for that, Minister Neal. I'm going to go to Leonard. Leonard, I want to ask you a question. Changing the whole topic, changing the whole subject and everything right now. We had two debates last night. Well, they weren't debates. They were actually two town halls because they were not debates. They were supposed to be debates. But for whatever reason, your president decided that he didn't want to have the debate for whatever reason. They say it's Corona or whatever it is. And so Biden, he said he went to, I think it was, he went to ABC or CBS. I don't know which one it was on.
ABC.
He went to ABC and agreed to do a town hall there. And when your president got wind of it, he went to a CBS, I think it was, and said, I want to have one during the same time. What kind of fracking-knacker-bull mess is that, man?
That's exactly what a businessman would do. He's not interested in what you're interested in.
So basically, am I hearing you say it was a good bit? Leonard, am I hearing you say, Leonard, am I hearing you say that was a good business move?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said that's what a businessman would do.
Okay.
Because he's not interested in you hearing both sides of the story. So he gonna throw whatever salt he can in the other guy's game. That's how you know he's not worthy or fit to be a public service leader. Because it's just a business, it's just a game to him, and he just wants to win. He don't care about nobody else. He just wants to win. He just wants the pension. So that's why he did what he did.
Okay.
You know, he rather do all his little tricks and things to get the vote. It's not about sharing information that's useful. It's not about anything else but smoke and mirrors to get you to go and vote for him.
Okay. What did you see?
And people that think like him vote like him.
Yeah, you're right about that. Bishop, what did you see in that?
Man, for me, I think this man thinks it's a joke. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he does.
And they asked him specific questions about healthcare. He wants to do away with Obamacare, but he doesn't have anything in place.
Don't have anything. Nothing.
So
nothing.
I love it when you say wake up and go to sleep. we're going to encourage every voter to wake up and not be asleep.
Yeah,
and pay attention to what's going on because he doesn't have a plan.
No,
he only looks for profit, and he wants to destroy everybody that seems to oppose him. So that's what he's trying to do. So he didn't want to do the forum. He didn't want to do the debate correction.
Yeah, because
Joe said, well, "Hey, let's make sure we're got the distance between them."
And he wanted to do a virtual.
Yeah,
Joe wanted to do a virtual, and he didn't want to do that.
He didn't want to do it, but now he want to have a town hall.
Yeah.
And don't people know that the coronavirus has now taken a turn for the worse, and more people are now getting it. Even some of those who contracted it have gotten it again.
Yeah.
But yet he wants to have this open forum, and all these people sitting there with this hat on.
He don't care, brother.
Make America great again. Man, when was America ever great? Help me understand, because I ain't seen it. Not what my forefathers went through.
Exactly. Neil, what's on your heart? What do you say about and that is foolishness to me. But what's on your heart concerning that?
I mean, what everybody's saying is hit home runs. But I think what happens is, and I think what we have to understand is that what he was trying to do is he was trying to he's trying to add to his base, but only thing he's ever done now is that he's galvanized his old fan base, because what was going on with Hillary back 4 years ago, he's going to use the same thing. And now it's to the point now that some of the people, it's funny that Bishop said something, some of the people who contracted the coronavirus, who was on the lawn with him. Former Republican Governor Christie came out this morning when I was in there getting dressed, and they interviewed him. And he said out his own mouth, he said, I was in the ICU for 7 days. And he said that the term for the worst because his health issue is his pre-existing health issue. He has asthma, and everybody knows that it attacks respiratory systems. And ended up happening was that he was saying that now he understands why the masks are so important.
Yeah.
This said today. That's what he said today. And he is everything. He said, I don't know why the president is telling people not to wear these masks when something as simple as me having asthma I was attacked.
Yes, sir.
I was vulnerable to it. So what I'm saying is that people are now seeing that not only has he's lying, but he's very divisive. He's doing everything he can. It's not it's not even about the mask. It's not even about the mask. It's more about, I like to say this, a lot of them have a tendency of they write the laws, but the law's not for them. If you understand, it's just like with gun laws, everything that it's never for them. So what's happening now is that now even his people that he considered as friends and foes, now he's to a point right now, he's like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to deal with him no more because he's not co-signing what I'm saying now. Because know why? That man went through something.
Yeah.
When you're on the verge of death, they can change it. They can change your perspective about life, period.
Exactly.
So, and I think that's what he needs to take into consideration. That's why when he was sitting right telling everybody, oh, I'm fine, I'm the best of health, he's lying. If you go back, every time I look at that picture of him at walking off the lawn to the White House, did you see how many gas or breath he was taking when he took that mask off? You will see that man was sicker than what he was claiming to be. But he got a lot. For what reason, we don't know. But, I mean, I'm just to the point. I just don't think all them dots connect. Sorry.
Exactly.
And he's a result of how much America hated Obama. Period.
Yeah. Exactly. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, good morning, man. I came in a little late. I've been listening, but I was doing something, so I had to call in. I heard that last statement y'all made, the last topic you brought up, so I had to call in real fast.
Yes, sir. What's on your heart? What's wrong with him?
Man, I really see that he's just a roadblock guy. He's one of those people that like to be difficult and doesn't like to cooperate, which normally comes from spoiled rich kids. A privileged person. But he really exemplifies pretty much
how the American system truly works behind the scenes when you have power. He's just exposing it. Once again, I think he's exposing it, and he's making a lot of people mad that have used this same tactic behind the scenes to be uncooperative. But just the fact that he's so contradictory, you know, 1 minute you don't want to do a virtual debate, but all of a sudden now you want to do a town hall at the same time. Well, why didn't you just go closed circuit and do a virtual debate then at the same time without being an opposition, you know, distracting everybody? So it people have to really wake up and see that we have a dishonorable person in an honorable position.
Right.
And he's showing it all the time, the time. And those that support him, the ones that like those extra commas and zeros and, you know, all that stuff, man, they really have to examine themselves and look and see what is it that they truly value. Do they honor integrity? Do they value honor or integrity? And then I sort of want to bring up the Ice Cube thing too, man, because it's sort of disappointing that people had an opportunity to listen to Ice Cube and that contract with Black America a month or two ago, and they chose not to. Then the minute the headlines come out and misprogram you with this Cube helped them with this proposal that Trump came up with, you just run with the headlines and say, oh, you know, went in there and worked with him. No, he made the offer to both parties. Biden chose to say this.
Hey, but Rico, I'm going to cut y'all. Hey, Rico, I don't mean to cut y'all, brother. But let me explain something what happened. Roland Martin told him to not deal with either party. He said, because he's a politician. You got to remember that. That's one of the things they told him, but he went ahead anyway. And he submitted to both of them. But the thing about it was that it wasn't a point of people was upset with him because of what he had, like he worked with them. It was the picture that they painted is what they responded to. It wasn't him. That's why if you read his tweet, he'll tell you that he submitted to both of them. He even made a comment, and he said clearly, he said, the Trump cap actually dissected and removed some things from the post.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to get to.
What the point I'm making is that he got tricked. He should have been advised how to approach these people. But that's what Roland Martin told him. If you go to the interview that Roland Martin had with him, go back and look at it on YouTube. And Roland Martin told him, he said, I applaud you for what you're trying to do, but when you have these kind of readers, especially when you're dealing with politicians, you have to be advised. You have to have somebody around you that knows more than what you know sometimes. And what he did was he went in a little half cop, and he got caught at the pocket. Let's call it for what it was. That's why people was angry with it. He got not angry with the proposal. It's because that woman said, we want to say Ice Cube, the Trump camp with a proposal. That's what she said. That's what people responded to. And that's why he got in trouble. The same thing with us who met with him when he first got in office. It was the same thing. It was a photo op. He got tricked. It is what it is. Every time somebody always gonna get got. Somebody, and it's happened. He wasn't going to trick man at all.
I don't think he got because he didn't endorse it. He didn't say I'm with it.
But the thing about it though was that they advised him, do not go over there, do not talk to no one. When you get the proposal ready, let somebody who has some expertise in this look it over with you and then present it. He didn't do that. So he got tricked. He thought that he knew.
From my understanding, he had that kind of help when he came up with the contract. This is not a one man thing he did. He had, but he got but again though, my brother, I'm telling you, he was just on Roland Martin yesterday. And I was like, man, man, he did that. And I sat like I thought about it for a minute. Because if you look at the headline say from NWA to MAGA. Look at the headlines. Look at the headlines.
Hold on, gentlemen, hold on. Let me pull some more people. Let me pull y'all. Hold on for 1 second. Let me pull some more people into the conversation.
That's the headline.
I want to get. Let me go to right now. Let me go to Tucson, and then I'm gonna go to Ashley. Tucson, what's on your heart?
Let me tell you what I think. And here's something that a lot of people don't realize. Donald Trump is the president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
He has the best health care that you can have. You're not going to get that. I don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how much money you have. If he don't need to go to no hospital, there is a hospital. There is physicians right around him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
How many presidents that they didn't kill died of old age? We got some presidents that's still living now, that they're in their 80s and 90s. You know why? They got the best health care. You're not going to get it. That's the trick of the game. Yeah, that's just me. I'm not too right. I'm not stupid. You're not going to get the same health care. He might come out after 72 hours of having any corona or anything else, because the doctors are going to do everything they possibly can to keep him alive, because he's the leader of a free nation.
Mm-hmm.
Not too smart, but people think that they walking out here now and you see people drop their mask, because the hero of the bunch went through corona, and he's strutting himself, and they think they can do the same thing. Buddy, you're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that fool. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call it fool.
No, you good. Mm-hmm. And let me read this.
That's the trick of the game.
Yes, sir. Yes,
to
sir.
Make you think you can do like him. You can't do like him. He don't have to pay no taxes, and he can't be prosecuted because they don't prosecute presidents. Not in this country.
Mm-hmm. Let me read this here.
Everybody went to jail but Nixon.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody except Nixon, absolutely. And the White House medical unit includes emergency medical and trauma capacity at both the White House and the residence of the Vice President of the United States of America, naval organization. It's a medical care unit. Purpose is a medical care unit at the White House. And in 2010, there was on staff. There was 24 on staff working at the hospital inside of the White House. A lot of people don't know that there's a hospital inside of the White House, and I don't know how many people that is staff there right now, but in 2010 they said it was 24 people on staff in the White House. Ashley, what's on your heart?
Personally, I don't agree with a lot of things that Trump does. I used to think that he was a great business guy. However, he doesn't make business moves, business moves. He does things, everything to him I feel like is a competition. I don't feel like he takes things lightly. And even from a female perspective, his thoughts and the way he views women is totally not acceptable to me.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, I know a lot of people don't like to address these issues. However, he is definitely a molester. Like, there's no way that you can hang around a guy that's involved in trafficking. That is a proven fact, and this is your best friend and someone you're close to. And plus the things that he also said about Trump, and then all of a sudden, while this guy is in jail, he gets killed, or he just automatically commits suicide. That's not a coincidence.
Wow.
That's things that's swept up in rug. That's not addressed or mentioned because nobody wants to talk about those issues. So for those reasons, I don't respect him or his values.
Exactly. Is Gary still with you?
No, he's at the doctor's office.
Okay. I want to go to him as well. Let me go to Bishop. Bishop, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Well, just listening to them, and I'm glad, some people have waken up and realize that he is not good for the American people.
Yeah.
I care less about his business sense because I know he don't have any sense. So let's tell the truth and shame the devil. This dude ain't got no sense. So, some of the things he do, and some people sit back and they, idolize him to some degree. Oh, he's the best. But you can't get corona and then turn around and walk around here 3 days and say, oh, it's only for those who are sick.
The weak gonna die. I'm not weak, I'm strong.
Man, please get out of here. Yeah, you getting all this behind the scenes treatment.
Everybody, and I don't look at the prisoner of wars as a hero. They're weak.
Yeah,
they're failures and all kind of food. Come on, man.
How the way you gonna call them, man? Bro, you get in my face. You see, I wear my hat proudly. 101st Airborne Air Assault.
Come on.
I wear my hat proudly. I'm proud to serve this nation.
But if you're a prisoner of war, if you died, boy, you're weak.
Man, no. Okay, step in my face and say something like that.
He said it.
Hey, bro, Leonard, you there? Man.
Hey.
I'm just saying what the man said.
Don't let him knock you, Bishop.
What'd you say, bro?
Don't let him knock you, man. He gonna try.
I'm just saying what the man said. The man said, what did he say? What did he say? You heard what he said? What did he say?
Man,
he said, if you're a prisoner of war, you're weak. And he said something else too.
Then he lied. Now we heard him say it. He said, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
False, fake news.
Yeah.
Fake news said that. I didn't say that.
And speaking of fake news,
come on, bro.
Fake real news today. Y'all make sure y'all lock and load.
One of the things about me that turns me off about the situation is even personally, I'm trying to mature. Y'all pray for me. If you sitting in front of me talking trash, I might jump on you. I'm just gonna tell you straight up. If you sitting in front of me and you constantly lying and talking trash to me, I'm subject to hit you.
Yeah.
See, so this is why I'm not interested in the president. Because if he was doing it, I feel like hitting him every time I hear him. Because he don't even have the common decency to tell the truth.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me. And then not because there are some people you meet them every day. They're just as ignorant as he is. So one, it's not about, every day you're going to have a reason not to like him because he's going to give you a reason. He's going to tell a new lie every day. That's who he is. So you need to get over the fact of being shocked at what he's doing. And I'm glad to see people getting out, mobilizing against him. Because in a democracy, we are supposed to vote out those we don't like.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're supposed to vote in those that we do like. Now, like we said before, this relationship between us and presidents don't last no longer than 8 years.
That's it.
Now, if you don't stay in this abusive relationship for more, that's up to you. But people have to realize, like the young lady said, this is why I don't care for it. There may be other reasons why other people don't care for it. But we do know there's a lot of people that like it.
Yeah. For whatever reason.
Stand for, and they love what he does.
Yeah.
So do understand that people work with you every day. Then people are sitting on your school boards. They sitting on your board of commissioners in your state, local municipalities. They own your city councils and everywhere.
Yeah, you're right.
And this issue with Ice Cube and everything happens is because black folks, every time somebody get a great idea, they think that idea is going to rule the world. When you really need to look at it, if you look at the brother's plan, it's probably his plan is full of things that sound, from a criminal justice point of view, that come from the 21st Century Community Policing Initiative that Obama convened during his administration. If you look at other aspects, it's not, think about it, a contract with America. It's not how we do business with the public. We have government. And if you, like, say, for instance, shout out to Scarface, who, one of my great lyricists, he went and ran for office in Houston. See, you have to realize I don't fault Ice Cube for talking to Trump because he's been talking to Trump. He knows Trump. So it's just business with him. So he went with a business plan as if a businessman would do. What we need to understand is when somebody warns you who knows better, you need to listen. That's not how politics are. That's not how you do in politics. That's not how you do it. Mm-hmm. And this is why they were able to take that little bit and use him now in the media for something other than what that brother probably intended. I love Ice Cube and everything, but you know what? Just because Ice Cube a great rapper, he's been rapping about problems in the community, I will put my degrees in policy, administration, and education against that any day when it comes to governance.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me do this. We are at 10 o'clock. I want to go to Rico and Minister Neal before we get out of here. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
That's pretty much the point I was trying to make. You know what I'm saying? When I brought that up, I understood what he was trying to do, but we can't let the headlines go and manipulate what his agenda was. We got to understand what a contract is. A contract, you negotiate. When you have a contract proposal, you negotiate. And what he tried to do, he tried to negotiate with both parties. That was the point I was trying to make. Okay. The Democrats said we will wait till after the election to negotiate. Trump said, well, we will sit down now and listen to what you got to say. Then they took the parts out of it they liked and tried to manipulate it. And then they put his name on it and said, well, we got these ideas from Ice Cube, but let's change the words around and make it seem like he supported it and he helped us. So what Cube came out and said, no, I didn't help them. I sat down with both parties like I said I would. Don't get caught up in the mix and the headlines. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't fault him. He knew better, but I felt like like you said, he went about it as a business. It was a contract. Good so deal. He knew they were going to play that game, but what the public has to understand that they are playing that game. You get what I'm saying? Because he didn't help them.
I'm gonna tell you what it reminds me of, Raheem.
Okay. Now we got to get
Bryant. I'll use a clip that really stuck with me some way when it comes to the work that we need. Jamal Bryant was videotaped going into a community in Baltimore, right? And all this brother wanted to do was help people in the community. But then you got some, I'm not going to call him no name, joker going to stand up and tell him help was needed. His help was needed.
Well, that goes back. Let me say this. Hold on. That goes back to I hope Kurt don't mind me calling his name when I say this, but Kurt was telling me about how Jamal Bryant had did so many other things in the community that was not right, and he's burned so many bridges in the community, impregnated women and all kind of things that he was doing in the community that was not right. And now he's gonna try to come back and make it seem like he was, because the cameras was there and stuff like that, doing great things. And they said they didn't want him there because of all the other stuff that he's done. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just going by, and I'm quite sure that Kurt, he wouldn't lie to me. But Minister Neal, what's on your heart? You was about to say something.
Yeah, Jamal Bryant, right now, that's when I was telling y'all that was one of the issues that they had with him, that he was saying about City Strip Club. That was during that time. That was during that time. And then what happened was that I got some homeboys that was his friend brother. They know them very well. And they talk about it all the time. They laugh at it. And they laugh at it. Wow. So some of the sentiments that they had is not towards him and the works. It was more to a point that it's a distrust for him. And what happens is that the media built that up because he did some stuff that he could have walked away from, but he did. He tried to fight it. Sometimes you got to say, hey, man, I did it. I got caught. You got him. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. Sometimes you got to man up. And that's the thing about it. Same thing it is with you. Sometimes you got to say, hey, man, I made a mistake. I understand what you're saying, and I got it. I salute you. But sometimes it's just not. Sometimes y'all say what y'all want to say, but sometimes you just gotta understand this is not your that's not your wheelhouse. This is not. Period. Like that young lady said, the reason why she's gonna stand for Trump. And it's funny that they were talking about when they asked him to denounce the Q organization about when it came to child molestation. Yeah, he was like the man was on tape. voluntarily said he like to grab women's crotches. You understand what I'm saying? It's condescending. Because what it is, the bottom line is that it's not a point about if he's a good politician. It's a point of that it should have said, hey, doctors, they don't like black folks, and that's what it is. All the rest of that crap I'm talking about is just what it is. A whole bunch of crap. All the point is, either you here or you there. That's why I get tired of these people telling me Black Lives Matter. How Black Lives Matter when you want to vote? It no sense to me. This man telling you who he is. He just sat right here and banned Kaepernick. He banned him.
Wow.
He the one told the man 3 years ago that he wasn't nothing and call them all out their names. You heard the young man on my show last night what he said. He said one thing about it, I'm afraid, but I know I got God with. He's 17. Let's cut all that old about who this and that all this. That's too theatrical for me right now.
Good deal.
So right now we got to understand something. We got business to deal with, and that's the vote.
Absolutely. Let me go to we're gonna finish it up with the young lady. Ashley, what's on your heart?
Also, with the medical portion, it's different. Like, you can have different symptoms when it comes down to COVID. However, I honestly don't feel like you can tell Trump is definitely not even. I'm gonna hurt you. He's not even 60%. He's not even 60% better. However, he's going around acting because he contradicted himself when he said, "Oh, it's really not that serious," until his day came, and then he realized how serious it really was.
Good deal. Bishop.
Yes, sir.
Ending remarks. What's on your heart?
I do appreciate everybody that called in, those who viewed us. I do appreciate the wonderful comments from everyone. I encourage everybody to please get out there and vote, and make sure that you know the candidates, and make sure you vote consciously for the right person to help lead this nation. And I welcome everything. But Raheem just spoke about, when I said something about fake news, he talked about something that we're getting ready to put out. And I'm going to let him talk a little bit about it before we close out, because y'all need to make sure that the message gets out to the masses. Because what we do, we want God to be in front, in the middle, above, beneath, and behind, so that we can succeed in what we got going on. In the name of Jesus.
Come on now.
Come on, bro.
And what he's speaking about, we have a broadcast on the television side called Fake Real News. Fake Real News is going to be out aired today from 1 to 2. From 1 to 2. So if y'all get a chance, y'all definitely lock in and check it out. It's going to be on the television side. You can go to dkmmediagroup.com, and go to the television page, and you can actually see it being broadcast live right there today on the television side. Fake Real News. Fake Real News. Now, let me go to Leonard. Leonard, what's going on at 3 o'clock today? Oh, we lost Leonard. Okay. Bishop, what's going on at 3 o'clock today?
Well, if you have missed this program, you can tune in today at 3 p.m. Eastern time and catch it it's in what? Territory.
Lord Jesus.
Look at you.
I didn't stutter. Ashley, watch this. Ashley, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Ashley, I need you to do me a major favor if you don't mind. Pray us out.
Okay. Lord God, in the name of Jesus, I thank you for waking us up to this day, Lord God. I thank you for leading and guiding us to the right direction that you have for us to go in. I thank you, Lord God, for guidance. I thank you for keeping your hands of protection covered around us, Lord God. I thank you for the wonderful ministers and people that spoke today, Lord God. I ask you to touch each and every one of them, Lord God. And I thank you for blessing them above more than they can ask for, Lord God. And I thank you for this beautiful opportunity to fellowship, Lord God. And as we go, I thank you for your traveling mercy, Lord God. And Lord God, thank you for allowing your light to shine through each one of us, Lord God. And it's in your son, Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Go ahead, preacher. We're about to get out of here for today. Bishop, what you doing? What's wrong, man?
Boy, you come up, boy, you make everybody preacher. Smokey Robinson, the minister.
Yeah.
Man.
Gap Band, the choir.
Who?
Gap Band, the choir.
Oh, my God.
Minister Percy Sledge. Man, come on, man. How you gonna hold back on the people, man? Let the people be. Let them be great, man. Let them be great.
They can be great.
Yeah. Pastor Rick James.
Giving out false.
Listen, it is on 10:10. We're about to end. You're about to get out of here for today. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK Media Group and associates to be a part of your morning. Now it is 10:10. You're about to exit the Morning Globe, but before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You all have a great day. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might get some love in return. Love you, and have a great one. Take care of each other.